Holly Bobo screamed as she was dragged into the woods. Her remains found 3 years later. At trial, Jason Autry told the jury exactly how Zach Adams murdered her. Every detail, every moment, except he was lying. Today, we're watching the testimony that put an innocent man away for life. Welcome to Defense Diaries. Hello and welcome to Defense Diaries. I am your host, Bob Mata, and as always, I am joined by my beautiful and brilliant co-host who likes to be on top, Allie, and she's gone.
I keep trying to switch us. That's why I removed myself.
Switcheroo, the old switcheroo.
I don't like it like this. It feels weird.
I don't know how to do that. How do we switch?
I took
well, there she goes.
Back, and I'm still on top. Let me.
As always. Wow.
Hey!
Hey!
Sense of normalcy here.
Oh.
You switched us back.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there we go.
What?
The cord's too small.
But you
oh, you like that?
I do, because when I have the banner going, but I don't like, I really do. Hold on.
Whoa. Hi.
There we go.
Hi. Nailed it.
It's not working right. The I love due process isn't covering the.
I know.
What's happening here?
Pretty whack.
Oh, I know why.
Pretty.
Because you have us know we're going to be covering the witness. We can't do that. It's this.
Why are you watching it, Bailey B? If it sucks, why are you invested? Just dip in like when the verdict comes. Like, hasn't it been off because of the deep freeze in the South? I thought that they just got it back up.
Watch it on replay.
Bailey was telling me
you watch us on replay.
She watches us all the time for all the things.
All right, so this is day 4.
Day 4, and it's a big day. Big day for the state as they are about to walk their star witness right up to the witness stand, and he's going to get up there and lie his ass off very convincingly.
Did y'all see the thumbnail?
Wait, allegedly what?
Allegedly he's lying.
Oh, he's fucking lying. That mofo is lying.
Well, actually, he's admitted that he's lying, so we don't need to say allegedly.
Yeah, he's recanted. Full recantation.
Yeah, he's recanted. Okay, so who saw who checked out the thumbnail for this? Tell me
I've been sending the cams.
I
sent Cam the comments in here because so this is the way this thing went down. Last night I asked Mandy, I'm like, yo, can you make me a thumb specifically for the Jason Autry, testimony? And I wanted to be the man, the myth, the liar. And like I told Allie about today, she's like, what? What? The man, the myth? No, I don't like it. And then Cam, our 19-year-old, was standing right next to her. She's like, it should have been the man, the meth, a liar. And we were all like, ooh. So that is our daughter Cameron's brainchild. You know, like I had hired Cameron to do our shorts because like she's just super talented and really pretty bright, and she dipped on me, so I'm hoping I can suck her back in. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. All right, so I say we get to it today. Autry's gonna be on the stand.
Bailey says she's here on her phone, so I can chat Banfield on TV.
Yeah, this is what I've been hearing. The au pair has the worst defense attorney ever. I can't watch it. Really? It's pretty bad, huh?
You mean the husband has the worst? Yeah. It's so confusing.
The au pair has the worst defense attorney.
But how does the au pair have a defense attorney?
Well, I think she's just saying the au pair trial.
Right. Yeah. The defendant. It's just confusing how they call it like the au pair trial, because
she's like my adopted niece. Mandy. No, we're not officially, or she's my long lost sister, which is possible. Like Mandy's doing real life shit today. I think her little dude's homesick from school. So, yeah. All right, fire it up. Let's go.
Okay. All right. There was something that happened in court in the morning here. So, or I don't know what time it is actually. So let's hear that first.
Please seated. See,
We are, Your Honor.
you, purposes of the record, you'd asked for some additional time to transfer some requested information to defense counsel that you thought would expedite. You now advise that you might change your order of proof.
We are going to change our order of proof. I think the evidence has been located, but the person handling that witness hasn't gone through it, so we're going to call a different witness.
All right, call your next witness, please.
Good girl.
Jason.
All right. So they said, oh, I thought you were going to give them something that was going to change your order of proofs. She's like, yeah, we did. And we're going to change our order of proof. But, you know, that witness, the one who's handling that witness isn't here. So we're calling another witness. Surprise, surprise, defense. We're calling Jason Autry. And babe, I don't know if you're back there or not, but if you can hear me, did you let Katie and Dana know that this is happening today? No, they were with us last time we heard Jason Autry testify because we were all impatient, couldn't wait, and we did it out of order. But this is we're back to normal order schedule and to the prosecution calling the witness out of order. So I don't know if he let Dana and Katie know. The Trial and Error podcast. If you haven't listened to it and you're interested in this case, like to find out more about this case and this trial, that's your one-stop shop right there. The Trial and Error podcast. All right, I'm going to keep going. Hope Bob heard me in the background there.
Oh, yeah, might be good to get a jury. Hold on.
My eyeballs in. Putting the old contact lenses. I had to go back to contacts after 15 years of LASIK. To answer your question, Katie is on day 3 of no power.
Oh.
She has had no electricity. I've been sending the invites every day. I'll send them out again. I don't know what Dana's situation. I saw he was on with Misdemeanor the other night, so he might have power. He hasn't been responding on our chat, so he's starting to give me a complex. If you're out there, Dana, I'm looking at you, man. I'm looking at you. All right, so I'll send those invites out. Fire it up.
Okay, hold on. I was fixing the. All right, there we go.
I was like, you're just asking me, I'll tell you.
Let's bring our jury in, please.
I've got all kinds of stuff. We don't have a place here to keep things, so we're having big tubs that we're carrying stuff back and forth. Where are you, Mr. Autry?
All right, here's what I need to know, because that background sound is just so loud. All right, I'm going to play it for a little. This is with the sound boosted. Okay, so this is with the sound boosted. And babe, have you been playing it at 1.5 or 1.25?
It depends. If it's her, if it's Nichols and like a slow drawler witness, then yeah, I do it at 1.5 because then it sounds normal. Because she's slow. She said she is doable at 1.5.
But I can't remember if Autry was.
I mean,
accent.
some of these witnesses talk like this, so you know what?
All right, I'm leaving him at 1.25.
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
someone says otherwise. But
We'll play it by ear.
so right now I have the booster on. I'll let it play for about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to switch it off. And you guys tell me if you can hear better with it on or off. All right.
Mr. Autry, you came in wearing what appears to be a prison garb. Where are you currently housed or staying?
I stayed last night in Henderson County Jail.
And you are charged in the case that is on trial this week?
Correct.
You're charged with murder, kidnapping, rape?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to
Bad man.
ask you some questions about your background first, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you grow up?
All right, I'm turning it off.
What, the boost?
Yep, here we go.
Parsons, Tennessee.
And how long, did you live there your whole life, or did you live around that area?
I spent probably 16, 17 years in that area, and then I moved into the city. So the Parsons in the city part. I was raised in the country.
And I got you. How old are you?
I think so too.
44. Fixing to be 40.
Do you have family in that area?
You say fixing to be 44.
Yes, sir. I help.
Do you have family in that area?
Yes, ma'am. I have a father in there at 1333 Bear Creek Road.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't quite hear what he's saying.
You got Mr. Harper, you got a hot mic there, so you can speak into that a little more directly or speak up.
Okay.
Where you want it? Is that good?
Right there. Sorry.
You're all right.
Yeah, they couldn't hear your answer. You have a mother that lives there in the
I have
area?
a father at 1333 Bear Creek Road.
Is
What's up,
it
Joe?
fair to say that you've been in trouble with the law on,
Multiple times, numerous times.
have you served time in prison?
I've been to prison 4 times.
Okay. And what are the 4 times for?
Theft and drugs.
And now this.
This will be the 4th time here with kidnapping, rape, and murder.
So prior to this case, drugs and theft
Correct.
on more than one occasion.
More than one occasion.
You know a guy by the name of Zach Adams?
Yes, ma'am.
See him in the courtroom.
Right there, sitting beside counsel,
Record, the defendant.
defendant.
How long have you known Zach Adams?
Approximately 15 years, maybe.
Do you know other family members of his?
I know his brother. I knew his father.
His father's deceased?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What kind of relationship did you have with his father?
A drug deal. It was a drug connection.
You said you knew his brother. Who's his brother?
Dylan.
And who's older, Zach or Dylan?
Zach.
And between Zach and Dylan, who were you closer to, or who did you have the most dealings with?
Zach.
You know an individual by the name of Shane Austin?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I need to interrupt right now. I need to interrupt because I haven't put this out there. Would it be better for us to listen to his recantation before we hear his testimony right now? Since we already know he recanted, would it be better to know what he says? And if so, babe, I'm pretty sure that Dana and Katie have given us permission, but we just would want to get official permission to play that from their I'm assuming from the trial and error podcast. I know it's episode 2. All right, some people are saying nope, some people are saying yes. We could do it afterwards if people think that would be better. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll listen to it afterwards. That's what we'll do. We'll listen to it afterwards. That gives Bob some time to get official approval so that we can tell YouTube that we have licensed the material we're going to play, or maybe they have it raw that they can send it to us, and then we don't have to deal with YouTube thinking that we stole it from their podcast. You're muted, babe.
I think it would only be an issue if they did like a copyright strike.
All right, so we're going to play this anyway. We're going to get through it, but Bob put out there that we'd like to play his recantation.
I did. I asked him.
All right, we're going to do
Way
it
ahead of
afterwards, guy. Here we go.
Way ahead of you.
And I think we could go to 1.5 on him personally, but
How do you know Shane?
He's on the way.
First cousin to
So you know where he lived?
30 Yellow Springs.
Was that a house or a trailer?
Trailer.
And before he got that trailer, do you know where he lived? Like where his parents lived?
Yes, his parents lived at 790 P Road,
Is that very close to where the trailer was?
within a couple miles. Approximately a mile and a half.
I want to draw your attention back to 2011. Did you have a job in 2011, the beginning part?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you work for?
Michael Douglas.
And what did you do for Michael Douglas?
I worked on a cattle farm. I was feeding, upkeeping,
yeah, that's 1.5. That's where I'm staying.
just general labor.
Okay.
Also, I was working with
Yeah, he sounds normal.
Marvin
man.
Taylor Construction.
All right. So you had two sort of jobs when I needed you.
Neither one of them was government jobs. They just paid general labor. There were no tax jobs. They were just general labor jobs.
Were there periods of time in the first half of 2011 where you didn't have work from either one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have your own place to live at the beginning part of 2011?
I lived at 310 Bento Hills Road with Angela Smith Scott.
And what part, where did Angela Smith Scott actually, you gave us an address, but where is that?
That's in Benton County, Tennessee.
Benton County is next to what county?
Decatur. It's north. It's actually north of Decatur County on 641.
And Parsons is in Decatur County?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was Angela, excuse me,
Is K Riggs out there? I hope K Riggs is out there. He knows a lot about this. And is DB out there?
I haven't
Hopefully we
seen
got
DB.
All right. Hopefully we got some people in chat that know a lot.
what was Angela to you? Girlfriend, relative, what?
Girlfriend.
Do you remember, I'm not asking for dates, but do you remember approximately how long you lived with Angela Scott?
It started in 2010 and extended over into 2011.
And did you all have a sort of a routine about working and what time you get home and what time she get home and that kind of thing?
We did.
And will you explain to the jury, please, what your normal routine was?
There he is.
Both if you
There
were
he is.
working and if on that
Are you sure
particular
Kate Riggs is
day
a he?
you weren't working.
Or she. Sorry. I don't
All
know
right.
why I've been
Me and
assuming a he.
In the middle,
I was assuming it was a she, so
Maybe
I don't know.
a decline. The relationship was declining. And I was having to hide my vehicle to keep her from getting in trouble with the children. She had some children by two other men. And my past was causing them to create trouble. And once she was arraigned in court, I had to hide my car at the Quick Mart. And when I wasn't working, she would be there at 3:30 when she got off, 3:30, 3:45, the general time, to pick me up. We would leave my car there. We'd go on to her house, do our thing. Next morning, she'd drop me off. If I was working and it was past what time she got off, well, I would just call her and set up a time to be there at that time. If it was 4:35,
It wasn't a
6,
contest.
just whatever time. the
Everything's a
convenience was.
Right,
contest.
so the Quick Mart was how far away from Angela's house? Doesn't have to be.
I want to say a mile. You could light a cigarette in the driveway and be there before you throw it out the window. I mean, it was quick.
You said Angela had a job, so where did she work?
She worked at Carhartt in Benton County.
And she went to work Monday through Friday every day.
Correct.
And you worked some, if either one of those men have either worked with the cattle or construction work, then you worked.
Yeah, and if correct.
Um,
I never stayed there through a day. I didn't want to be stranded through a day. So if I wasn't working, I had her to take me onto the car where I could enjoy my day, away from the home.
All right. Now, I've asked you some questions about your background. I'm fixing to turn topics to why we're actually here today. Are you represented by counsel in this case that you're indicted for?
2 attorneys.
Are they here today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and who are they? Who's this?
Michael Scholl and Robert Parrish
Over here
behind the defense counsel
and right here.
and right there.
And those two men have been your lawyers for a year or two? 2 years now?
Yes, ma'am.
And before Mr. Parris and Mr. Scholl became your lawyers in this case that you're indicted for, you had other lawyers, right?
Correct.
And those lawyers no longer practice law.
That's correct. Yeah.
Either one of them,
Neither one of them.
but both also their
Both
license.
of them lost their license. Run off with the money and all that.
Wow.
What are your expectations? Because the jury needs to hear this.
She's really going to bat for this guy.
Yeah.
Really going to bat for this guy, this prosecutor. I mean, all right.
Star witness.
Star witness. Okay.
Star witness in the case of her career.
Yep.
What are your expectations? You know what I mean by that? For testifying here today. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm hoping for leniency.
What have I told you that you must do today?
Tell the truth.
Nothing that I recall.
And I'm speaking of telling the truth or telling a lie.
Telling the truth.
How many times do you think I've told you that?
Multiple.
And I've met with you 4 or 5 times?
That's correct.
What about Mr. Hagerman? He told you the same thing?
Every time.
And this is the only time I'm going to ask you what your lawyers have told you. Have both Mr. Scholl and Robert Parrish told
I
you?
object to any your second amendment. Yeah, I was allowing my objection
Yeah.
to a little bit of that.
It's not offered for the truth, it's
Yes, it is.
for his expectations.
What?
Right.
Oh my
They've always
God.
tell the truth.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do today?
I'm here to testify to the truth.
So despite your background,
Wow.
which has admittedly been bad, right?
Correct.
Are you going to tell these 15 people the truth?
Yes, I am.
Then I want to draw your attention to April 13th, 2011, and ask if you remember that day.
I do.
And improper bolstering of your witness. What have your lawyers instructed you to do? Tell the truth. Oh, so you damn well must be telling the truth now. Oh, hell yeah. So yes, as Living Story World says, it's hearsay. The judge is saying it's not offered for the truth of the matter, but it's offered for his expectation. Just more compounds a problem of improper bolstering of your witness by saying his lawyers instructed him to tell the damn truth.
Yeah.
Come on now, Your Honor. It's the first thing you learn in judge school, isn't it? In grade 1 of judge school. Bullshit.
Well, they just scored the touchdown up here, so I wasn't really paying attention to questions, ma'am, so I don't know.
For those of you that don't know, that is because this judge was caught watching football during this trial.
On his iPad.
Actually, I'm going to back up to the night before, April the 12th, 2013. Do you remember the night before?
I do.
All right. Where did you spend the night of April the 12th?
310 Benco Hills.
Whose house was that?
Angela Smith Scott.
Were you working at that time?
I was not.
Do you remember what time you got up on the morning of April 13th?
She had to be at work at 7, so approximately 6:30.
What did you guys do when you got up?
We got up and drank coffee. She took a shower, got ready for work. We get in her Ford Expedition, and she would carry me to the PT Cruiser, the silver PT Cruiser. Then she would go on to work.
So the PT Cruiser was the car that you
Tell
were.
me, is this the day before?
Look
Yes,
at
sir.
this, babe.
On the 12th.
No, he's
This
back.
is under the 13th. You just asked him where he was the day
The night-
before.
the night-
Now we're following up with more.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the morning of the
Crazy.
13th. So this PT Cruiser, that's the car you were driving at the time?
Wowzers.
Correct.
In
That is a
time
fun
frame,
fact.
in that moment. And that's the car that you were hiding, if you want to call it that, at the Quick Mart.
That's correct.
Okay. You just didn't want it parked in front of her house.
That's correct.
So after she dropped you off at the PT Cruiser, what did you do?
I got in the PT Cruiser and went to Camden Bottom.
What's Camden Bottom?
It's a large refuge.
Why'd you go there?
I wanted to kill some time. I
Oh,
wanted to look at the wildlife, hear the ducks and the deer.
whew,
I'm a country boy.
I'm
I
a
enjoy
country
the
boy.
sights and sceneries.
Okay, but what? and
I
somebody
enjoy
got your-
sights
I'm a
and
country
sceneries.
boy. I just want to look out on that damn scenery there. I just want to watch some frogs, ribbit,
I'm a country boy. I
I wanna
enjoy
watch
some sights
some
and sceneries. Yeah.
grasshoppers hop.
Oh, I do. I enjoy the sights and the sceneries. Let's go. Come on now.
What in the please, sir?
Oh, I
We had
was gonna
just heard
kill
about all the raping and murdering.
time.
That pregnant pause. And we were on 1.5.
Right. I'm just
Well,
a
I want
country
to
boy.
go out there and kill some time.
Time.
Imagine at regular speed. People are like,
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yes, sir. We heard about how much you're a country boy. And I think all the other country boys would say that's some boying that they don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, don't friend right there. Don't they give me no taters, man.
History, that sounds a little odd. You want to go look at ducks and deer. Is that a place you've been to multiple occasions or not?
I fish there regular.
I
But
look at ducks and
It's fine
deer.
to look at scenery. Were you actually trying to kill time before you could really do what you wanted to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which was what?
Oh,
I wanted to make a phone call and establish a connection on morphine.
So that brings us to drugs again. Were you using and addicted to morphine?
Yes, ma'am.
How, any other drugs?
Methamphetamine,
All right, so how,
hydrocodone,
I'm sorry,
morphine, hydrocodone, and methamphetamine.
you used all of them.
Yes, ma'am.
All
You
the
said you
drugs.
needed to waste time, kill time until you can make a connection. Who did you start calling?
I started a volley of exchanges to
A
Shane
volley.
Austin and Mr. Adams.
You said I started a volley of exchanges. Just
Yeah,
listen to me. Did somebody answer you when you started making these calls?
No, not
So by volley, do you mean you were calling both?
correct.
Did you really care which one you made contact with?
No,
You just wanted to make contact with one of them
correct.
in order to do what?
To get appeal.
And you,
Get appeal.
did you have, I guess, a particular drug or a particular
I did.
process that you wanted to do that one?
I did.
Explain it to the jury.
I enjoyed. My DOC maybe was a cocktail of morphine and meth together.
So did you have one of those and didn't have the other?
I had the meth.
So you started making phone calls to Shane Austin and to,
Jack Adams.
all right. At any point in the morning, did you make contact with one of them?
I did.
Did you, which one?
Mr. Adams.
And did he call you or did you call him?
He called me back and said that he was busy, that when they got to a location, that he would call me.
And other than telling you he was busy and we got to a location, he would call you. Did you ask him any details about what he meant?
I did not.
Do you have any idea of what time in the morning this was?
It was after 8. Probably 8:40, 8:50 maybe, somewhere in that time frame.
Well, earlier you said you wanted to kill time until you could make a phone call.
That's correct.
So how late were you wanting to wait before you started calling them?
I made the first phone call. At the river, you can't get a signal. It's pretty tough to get a signal there. It's real low. And when I come out of the river, I made the first phone call at approximately 8 o'clock beside Palmer's Tool and Die.
So from 8 o'clock until you actually made contact, sometime within the hour, you
Pause it,
called
babe.
both of them more than once.
Correct.
Hadn't gotten a response, and then he finally called you back.
That's correct.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know that he's lying, but you would certainly be like when you're hearing him say things like a volley of exchanges, right? Like, does this guy strike you as a guy who speaks like that, like
Unless he's
on the
put some
reg?
thought
It-
into what he's going to say. Right.
Like, it certainly sounds rehearsed. You know, like this is a guy, you know, which when we listen to the recantation, you're going to learn he had 18 months to get this shit on lock. You know, it's, you know, I mean, you get the sense that it was a carefully tailored bit of testimony. That's the way I'd be feeling about it, you know, and it's going to be up to Thompson in
Correct.
terms of the cross to try to trip him up on his bullshit, but we know that doesn't happen. So,
Well, and we've got Akasha at work in the bathroom laughing her ass off.
Oh, you're the shitter's fool. Yeah, I don't know. Doing a volley of exchanges and you know, I like being up in the wildlife. Doing the docks, I like the meth and the morphine. It's good.
And the ducks and the deer.
You know, all the wildlives.
Just a country boy.
I like to contemplate the life out there when I'm doing the meths and the morphines.
In
It's
preparation
good.
for all the raping and killing and kidnapping.
Yeah, you know, Zach was a little busy at first, but, you know, he got me involved before too long. You know, I got in my car and then, you know, I'm on the way.
All right.
all right, old single screen alley over here, switching between her tabs.
Actually, I realize now we haven't watched Jason Autry before. We watched Brit out of order,
yeah,
I think. Okay.
we didn't watch Autry.
Right. We watched
Brit.
Brit out of order.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I was like, I don't, this guy does not look familiar to me. And I don't remember this, you know, sightseeing and hunting and, you know, mething and morphing.
Docking. On the docks. The
and
docks
the
are good.
scenery. Like the scenery.
My
What
drug
did you
choice
do
of
after he
docks.
told you, when I get to the location, I'm busy. When
When we get to the location, we'll contact you. I went that general way. I knew that I headed in that direction.
Okay. And I'm sorry, nobody here but you knows in what direction you're talking about. I went in that direction.
Well, I left Benton County, headed toward Decatur County, down Birdsong Road.
And why Birdsong Road area?
It was the easiest access from where I was to get there Plus, it would be a delay. I mean, it was just the easiest access to get there from where I was, other than going down the main road.
And did you talk to him again?
I did. Mr. Adams.
He called you, or did you call him?
I believe he called me.
What did he say?
He said, we're at cousins.
What did that mean?
That means that they were at 30 Yellow Springs Road, Shane Austin's house.
Your cousin.
He called him cuz too.
That's your cousin.
Correct.
So did you go there?
I did.
How far away were you? How long did it take you to get there?
Probably 20 to 30 minutes.
Did he just say that we are at cousins, or did he ask you for something, or indicate that he wanted you to come there for some reason?
When he called me back, he said, I need to see you. I need your help.
And then told you, is that the first time or the second time? You said you
The
talked.
second time. I talked to him first, and they were busy. The second time, he told me where he was at and he needed my assistance.
And when he said, I need your help, what did you think he meant at that point? What did you think the problem was?
I thought a batch of meth was locked up,
Meaning something in the cooking process was.
meaning it had gained moisture and stopped making.
Okay. And so, was that fine with you to go help him with a batch of meth?
I was under that assumption, and it was
Okay. So you headed to Yellow Springs Road?
30 Yellow Springs Road.
If you're standing on Yellow Springs Road, can you describe for the jury, I guess, the way Shane Austin's house trailer sat? In other words, was the driveway down? Did you see the trailer from the street?
From Yellow Springs Road, say this is Yellow Springs Road. There's a fence, a gate, downhill into a wooded area of pines. The trailer sets approximately 50 yards from the road, 40 yards from the road, somewhere in that, on the left-hand side.
I want you to start at the moment that you pulled into his driveway and tell the jury what happened.
I pulled into the driveway. I got out. The first thing I noticed was a burn barrel that was burning. The second thing was Dylan was standing in the doorway with his shirt off. Shane was walking around saying, y'all need to hurry up and get the goddamn hell out of here. And holstered on his side was a firearm.
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat, please, your last statement?
Can you say it again, holster? She couldn't hear.
When I pulled in, there was a large fire burning in a burn barrel. Dylan Adams was standing at the door of the trailer.
I'm just moving it so you can talk.
Dylan Adams was standing at the door of the trailer with his shirt off. Shane was walking around in the yard hollering, y'all need to hurry up and get the goddamn hell out of here with a firearm holstered on the right side.
Okay.
Zach was standing at the door of a white 4x4 Nissan Frontier. I instantly got to Mr. Austin and bought a pill, bought a morphine, 100 milligram, walked directly back to the PT Cruiser, broke it in half, cooked it down, and shot it. A few minutes later, I got out and walked back to the 4x4 Nissan where Zach was standing at the door, and he said, I need you to help me bury this body. And I told him, I said, yeah, damn, I hate that y'all killed little JoJo. And he said, Jason, he said, Train. He didn't say Jason, my nickname is Train. He said, Train, that's Holly Bobo.
Who's JoJo? Why do you think it was JoJo?
Some days before that, Joe owed some money for some pills. Him and Zach, his enemies. They was talking about killing him for the drug debt.
Was there also another relationship between, or another connection between Joe and Zach?
Shane,
Was there a woman connection between Joe and Zach that you know of?
there's a child. Both of them have a child with the same woman.
Yeah.
So if those of you that are wondering that since this trial has been recorded, that the sound and the mouth and the movements are not in sync. So that's
Well, it's
something
even
that-
worse when we have it at different speeds.
But it's the same even at a 0 speed, like
It
the
is?
regular speed. Yeah, it's just as off on. I've checked it. If that were the case, I'd go back if it was normal, but it's not.
Beach Girl, do you not speak Boomhauer? Come on, girl. What's going on? Put the captions on, bae.
Oh,
Do help.
oh, sorry, forgot about that.
Yes, yes.
You knew there was bad blood about a drug deal. You knew there was bad blood about.
There was some stuff that happened. One child got abused, maybe.
When you
Maybe.
said that's not JoJo, that's Holly Bobo. What'd you do?
I was clueless. I didn't know Holly Bobo.
You said something that who she was, or yes.
Well, pictures, TV pictures and stuff like that.
So let's be honest. Did you really care one way or another about the body that was in the back of the truck?
I did not.
Describe for the jury where the body was And what you did after that?
The body was laying in a multicolored farm style blanket. It looked like,
All right,
Well-
why don't we just start right there? Okay, right there. This is a guy who has said since 6 o'clock in the morning, he's been making phone calls, trying to get morphine. He has his meth. He needs his morphine. That's his cocktail. He's been here. He's been there. Now, all of a sudden, he's sitting in front of a TV hearing news reports about Holly Bobo. What? He said TV, radio, you know, that stuff. When was all that happening? When did you put on the news, sir? When did you put on the news?
He's a big news guy.
In between all this scenery watching,
He's a big.
fishing,
This guy's a big news guy.
deering, ducking.
Oh, would like to get my news in. I'd shoot up and then I turn the news on and I start watching to see what's going on in the world. It's important. Need to know
Come
what's
on
happening.
now. Come on now. I mean, just the little things. Just the little things.
K Riggs is saying that he kept pronouncing Bobo like JoJo.
Wait. K Riggs is saying no, he's not saying that. Oh, I thought he just said that he knew who she was just from the TV and the radio. Or maybe he's saying now he knows who she is just from the TV and the radio. Is that what's
Yeah.
happening, K Riggs?
Well, I had a volley of exchanges going on that morning. I was trying to get my hands on that morphine because I needed that pill.
Hey, all right.
All right. So K Riggs says he said he didn't know Holly Bobo before this. That's a lie. They're related. But he later came to know who she was because of the news. Okay. I thought he was saying he knew when she was in the back of the truck who she was from the news. But all right. I'm waiting for Bob. I want him to take over this feed at some point. But all right. Thank you, K Riggs. All right.
multiple colors. Wrapped in a blanket.
Backwards.
The body was laying in a multicolored farm style blanket. It looked like multiple colors. Wrapped in a blanket, laying up against the back. So the truck is sitting here, it's laying against the back. Instead of laying long ways, it's laying this way.
From the moment you figured out that he wanted help with Holly versus help with the batch of meth, were you willing?
Yes, I was.
Tell the jury what happened, what you said, what he said.
He asked me would I help him bury the body. And I said, yeah. I said, I will. And he said, but I said, I want to leave my car somewhere else besides here. I said, I don't want Shane or Dylan to know that I got involved in this. So I told him, I said, meet me at Yellow Springs Church. I'll park the PT Cruiser in there and I'll get in the truck with you.
And so while you were having this conversation with Zach, where was Dylan?
Dylan never came out of the trailer.
Where was Shane?
Have you taken that PT Cruiser to Indiana? Delphi, perhaps?
Continuing,
Where was Dylan?
Dylan never came out of the trailer.
Where was Shane?
Continuing, putting stuff into the burn barrel.
Did you say putting stuff into the burn barrel? Could you see what he was putting into the burn barrel?
The smell was an appearance of camp fuel and meth. It was a large blaze. The area was tight, and you could smell the smell of a meth lab burning.
Okay, I understand what you could smell, but could you see what he was putting in?
I could not say. I never made it that far down. I never made it past the door of that 4x4 front.
The door. I didn't hear the door. What?
I never made it past the truck door.
You said earlier that Shane was saying y'all got to hurry up and get out of here. Did he say why?
He had a satellite. He said there was a guy coming to install a satellite, and he didn't know what time he'd be there.
So you had him saying, satellite guy, cable guy, whatever's coming, and throwing things in the burn barrel. You had Dylan first at the door with no shirt on, and then never came out, correct?
That's correct.
This conversation took place between you and Zachary Adams there between his truck and your cruiser.
That's correct.
So what happened?
I got in the PT Cruiser. I backed out, went to Yellow Springs Church, pulled in. When I walked out to the road, he was backing out of 30 Yellow Springs Road. He picked me up. I got in the truck. And we go towards 641 down P Road.
Mr. Autry, you've now gotten into the truck with the guy who says that Holly Bobo is dead and wrapped up in truck bed. So tell the jury what you guys talked about.
As we got going down the road, I brought it to his attention that there were no shovels or pickaxes in the truck. How are we going to bury a body with no shovels or pickaxes? He looks at me and like he's lost. And I said, I don't know of nowhere a man can just pull up and get a shovels and pickaxes with a dead body in the vehicle.
All right, keep talking.
Continue on.
Yes.
We go across.
Now, before you continue on, you say there's nothing to,
There's nothing to dig
so what's an alternative suggested?
by me. I told him that some years back that I had been underneath Interstate 40 bridge and there was a body floating. And I told him, I said, the only thing holding the body up was the intestines. Yes. And we set a course that direction.
Why did you mention a body floating? What did you talk about specifically? What was your plan of disposing of Holly?
I'm just going to say this. I would believe this guy. If I did not know all the facts to discredit what he's saying, I would believe him.
That's what I'm saying. His shit was super well rehearsed.
I mean, he's like, this is the way the body was laying, and this is the, and I was like, what, fool? You don't have any pickaxe or shovels in here. How are you going to bury a body? But I thought that he said he heard the gunshot. Now all of a sudden he just has the body. Am I making that up?
No, I think I remember that coming out at some point.
I mean,
I don't know if it was through Autry though,
okay.
or if that was through Dylan. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, like, without knowing everything I now know, thank you, Truth and now I'm blanking, Truth and Error, Trial and Error podcast. Without knowing everything that I know now, I would be like, this guy seems like he's telling a story that could be, true.
Yeah.
Holly's body?
Mr. Gutter put her in the deep end of the slough. I told him, I said, put her in the deep end of that slough, turtles, and she had to eat it up just like that.
Turtles and what?
Turtles, animals of opportunity.
So did you all,
The only thing holding the other body up was the gases and the guts. I mean, it was floating, just like I'm from the river. You see a dead fish, the only thing holding it up is the gases and the intestines. That's the same as it was. You get the guts out, down it goes.
so you had a good idea?
I understand, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So where did you all go and who was driving?
Mr. Adams was driving. We went to 133, I believe we went to 133 where the interstate bridge crosses the Tennessee River underneath it.
Tell the jury what happened.
We made a loop of the entire area to scope it out, to make sure no one was in the area. There's a boat ramp a mile or so from there. Also, there's a beach. And we circled the boat ramp down by the beach, turned around, come back out. Not back out, but back up to the bridge, made the circle, and stopped at a pile of riprap.
What's riprap?
It's a large limestone rock, generally about this size.
And you're using your hands to,
Riprap changes.
you're using your hands to show something larger than a dinner plate.
That's correct.
And you said you stopped beside,
We backed into a pile.
is this an area that you had been to before?
That's correct.
Is this an area, or do you know whether or not Mr. Adams had been to that area before?
I believe he had.
Well, did you tell him where to turn, or do you know where to go?
He went on his own,
And you said you
backed up to a pile
of riprap.
of riprap. There was a pile laying underneath the bridge. The whole underneath the bridge was riprap, but there was some extra piled up to one side.
And how close to the bridge were you on? Did he back his truck up? And I should say, how close did he get under the bridge? You know, like,
Well, it was something like that. I don't know what footage was. I mean, it wasn't directly under the bridge. I mean, if you're looking at the bridge this way, if you just look straight down off the bridge, it's probably 20, 30 foot off to one side. We wasn't directly under the bridge.
I'm going to show you 3 pictures. You got your glasses?
I do.
Do you recognize what this is a picture of?
I do.
Wait a minute. It's not so. I've got three pictures, different views, but I want you to look at the first one and tell me what that's a picture of.
That's a picture of the Interstate 40 bridge. The location of the pile of riprap.
What is the next one? It's just,
This is the absolute spot.
right, so a closer up view.
That's correct.
And the third one,
I guess it's just a replica of the same one you had.
except for what? Is it even closer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what, can you see a trail in the third one?
To the between the riprap pile and the lake.
Your Honor, I'd ask these to be marked as the next.
177, 178, 179.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll ask you some questions. I'm gonna put the first one on there. Exhibit 1.
Can I move this?
We'll have the lights down in just a minute.
Can I move this over a little bit? West around, see?
Yes,
It won't go, Your Honor.
y'all have enough cord? Okay.
It'll be all right. We'll get her done.
Is this 177 or 9? I can't read. 177. All right, Mr. Autry, I want you to use the laser pointer and explain to the jury what they are looking at in this photograph.
Right here is Interstate 40, east and west. Right here is the Tennessee River Bridge. Right here, this gravel road is the gravel road we entered.
I'm sorry, you said that's the gravel road you what?
We entered.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to the mic and to the. We come in this fashion here, down here, and down in this general location right here is where the beach is that I was telling you about. Over to this side is where the other boat ramp is. Right here, this little white dot right there is the pile of riprap.
I want to ask you, have you driven over that bridge your whole life, basically?
I have going to and from
If you're on that bridge traveling,
right here.
can you see, even though it looks like, can you see,
You cannot.
and I didn't finish my question, I think you knew where I was going. Can you see what's below you there, close to the riprap?
You cannot. You're lucky to see this right here.
And you're showing the water?
This would be the lake. This would be the lake.
Okay. And you put the next one up.
I'm sorry about the inconveniences.
All right, what is this one?
This is a picture of Interstate 40, the bridge. This is the riprap. This is a trail that runs this way.
All right, and that gravel road that you showed the jury that you came in on,
Right there it is.
in the previous picture, it just showed that it went further, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and the next one. Sort of a close-up.
That's correct.
Now, in this picture, you see the edge of the highway or the bridge. Is that right?
That's correct.
And there appears to be a barrier. In other words, where you won't go off of it
Right here.
if you're traveling?
Right here.
Okay, and is that part of what obstructs your view if you're traveling down that road?
It is that factored in with elevation.
All right, so do you see the pile of, let me ask you this, is this what it looked like then, or does it look different now in this picture?
It looks different in this picture.
All right, what is missing or what is different?
This right here was bigger and was green like that right there. Was green.
What do you mean bigger?
There was more rock there.
Okay, show the whole area where there was rock back when,
Didn't look. You see how this looks? How it was all in that fashion running out.
okay. We can take pictures down. Get the lights back up. So when Mr. Adams backed his truck up to the pile of riprap that you just showed the jury,
That's correct.
will you start there, please? And tell them what happened.
We backed up to that pile of riprap, approximately the distance of this to that. We didn't back all the way against it.
When you say this, that, you just indicated the witness box to
To the jury box. Yes, approximately 5-6 foot room to get out. I got out of the truck with the right hand, and I grabbed the upper torso of Miss Bobo. Zach come around, let the tailgate down. I brought the upper torso to the end of the tailgate where he grabbed the legs, and I set the upper end on the riprap pile.
Did you notice anything about the blanket or the truck, the bed of the truck? Did you see anything?
In the bed of the truck, There appeared to be a small amount of blood.
Can you use your hands to describe what you mean by small amount?
The bed of the truck was ridged, like the bed of the truck, and it looked as if it had just lightly skidded over. And the blanket at the upper end of the torso that I grabbed had a small blood spot, maybe the size of an orange. Maybe the size of an orange.
All right, I gotta pause it. No, I'm not buying it. All that detail, what hand he got out of the car, what part he was holding.
That sounds completely legit for a fucking meth head.
I mean, I got out with my right hand.
It sounds super legit for a guy who just shot up with his meth and morphine, you know?
Hey, oh, well, I'm about to
pull him
bring
up
on a
yet. He's
special
not
guest.
ready. He's
Right,
not
right, I
ready.
see. But I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I got out with my right hand. I touched the upper torso. The other guy got out, lowered. I mean, are we fucking kidding here? You know, either it's, I don't know that I would necessarily be like liar, because I still think if I didn't know everything that I know, that I thought a lot of what he said could be true, but it would have just been so prepared that I'd have to question whether it was true.
It's way too detail oriented.
Are you fucking kidding me? I got out, I touched this body part, he touched that body part. All right, I'm gonna bring in.
There was a blood spot about the size of an orange, you know.
And she knows exactly what he's going to say. Every word of it.
Yeah. It's
Every
well-crafted.
word of it. It's like they're doing a little dance up there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring in our local expert. Now, really, the man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, man?
What'd you think about that thumbnail? Did you see that thumbnail?
I did not. I just joined a minute ago. So
All right.
pretty
So
good.
it said
Pretty-
I'm sure
Jason-
it's awesome.
Jason Autry, the man, the meth, the liar.
Yeah, I've watched this a bunch. It's
Yeah. Yeah. He's full of shit, this guy.
you know, as you watch this, I think my takeaway eventually was what Jason Autry is doing in this testimony is he's talking about any given Wednesday in his life
Yep.
and adding Holly to it. And to the extent it sounds credible. Now we've taken this thing apart 10 times. So
Right. If you know the other facts,
that's right. If you'd never heard all that, however, a lot of people would hear this and go, wow, he's got, like this can't, like you can't make this up.
Right.
And my conclusion was that the reason it sounded so credible until you got in and really started taking it apart with facts is he's just describing his life on any given Wednesday
Right.
in 2011.
I mean, he's just a country boy looking at scenery and ducks and deer. I like to watch.
And he's adding the Holly Bobo part
Right.
based upon lengthy exposure to the discovery
Yeah.
and multiple preparatory meetings with his lawyers and the prosecutors.
Yep.
I
So
mean,
all
he
he-
so much as admits that, right, Dana? I mean, he
Yeah.
says, I just took her and added her to it because
Plug
I mean,
and play.
right.
Yeah.
That is the most effective way to lie is to
Yeah,
use as
and-
many truths as you can.
That's right. And when he's talking about, oh, I was down at the wildlife refuge, well, everybody in that part of the world can picture that. They've been there.
Yep.
When he's talking about Pew Road, everybody knows where Pew Road is. It's one of the roads that comes off of 641. Everybody knows where, he's talking about these places. He is a guy who grew up there, roaming these roads and going to these places. And so when he describes them, it's a little bit, it's like an author talking about a place that he's lived all his life.
Right.
And then all he's got to do is add this farcical story about Holly Bobo and fit it into what he knew to be true about the timeline and the phone calls.
Right.
So,
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that his lawyers knew he was lying, like knew that he was not any part of this?
Well, what I can tell you is what I've seen his lawyers say, and then what he says. I've never talked to his lawyers, none of them. So Jason Autry's first set of lawyers are two lawyers, very experienced guys out of Middle Tennessee, both of whom wound up in disciplinary trouble. One of them later was disbarred, having been convicted of a felony against a client.
Actually had someone in the chat who was in the jury pool, not ultimately a juror
Okay.
for one of his lawyers' trials. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I digress.
So at the beginning, they took the position, innocent man, completely innocent man, wrongfully even accused. And Jason Autry made a big show of being on TV, and he'd go into the courthouse. And this is a big dude, okay? And he's a big, impressive, scary dude. His reputation precedes him. And he would go and yell at the cameras, "Innocent man accused," as he was shackled and being taken into custody and into the courthouse. And then those two lawyers got out of the case, and they were replaced by a guy who knew these Memphis prosecutors very well, because he too was from Memphis, and he had done many cases with them. And according to Jason Autry, he's sitting there, and this guy comes to see him, and he goes, "We need to talk about getting you out of this case, with a plea or something." And Jason says, "Wow, rope ain't tight yet." Jason Autry's been accused before. He's played this game before. He's waited out cases and plea bargained. He's done this before. He's pretty savvy about this. And according to him, he tells his lawyers, "They ain't got shit on me yet. What you talking about? Why am I going to plead out?" And later they come back to him, according to Autry, and they say, "Hey man, we can get you a good deal if you play ball." And he's like, "Well, what do I need to say?" And the lawyer's like, "Well, you're going to have to give up, you're going to have to say something about Zach doing it." And he's like, "Huh, all right." And according to Autry, this conversation eventually includes, "You're going to have to say you were there. You're going to have to say you saw the body. You're going to have to say you saw the murder." And he's like, "All right." So he figures out, he sits in his cell. And about this time that he's having these conversations with his lawyers, he sits in his cell, and his lawyer gets a whole new copy of the discovery. Says he lost all the cell phone data discovery, or needs another copy. Certainly could be that Jason Autry got that copy in his cell and had all the time he needed to figure out what he needed to account for, what calls he needed to account for, and how to explain them, and maybe even from whence, where they were roughly. So eventually, Autry, it appears that Autry figured out that the first one to tell the story someone needed to hear was going to be the only one get a deal, and the others were going to get jammed up real bad. The ultimate prisoner's dilemma. Yeah. It was a death penalty case, and Autry already had time. He already had 8 years. He was sitting on an 8-year sentence on something else, and it's not clear because no one will cop to it, but it certainly appears possible that Autry knew that if he did what they needed him to do, that his sentence would not really extend his time in prison much beyond what he was already going to do. And in point of fact, that's exactly what happened. At the end of the day, Jason Autry did not serve 1 extra minute in prison for what he's now confessing to have been a part of, although falsely.
So, and for those of you out here, that would be what's called concurrent sentencing.
Yeah, he got a concurrent sentence. Yeah.
And it's sort of unusual to get that with an offense that you're already in prison for, as opposed to something that was associated with, the offense with the offenses you're tried with for.
Yeah, and we're not to the point where Autry explains that he was present for the actual final murder. Autry's testimony so far is that he thinks he's looking at a body. Spoiler alert, he will shortly say it wasn't a body. Turns out that bitch was alive. That's when he saw the murder.
Which is strange, since he just describes like how he picked up the dead body.
Yeah.
And she's
Well,
not.
yeah, he says he's about to explain all that, but he ends up pleading out to. Now, they hold him in this case without a plea or sentence until after Zach and Dylan are convicted and after Zach's motion for a new trial is denied. Okay.
That's what we call hiding the ball.
That's right.
Old prosecutor's trick.
That's
We're
right.
just going to leave this case hanging out
That's right.
there until
when all
everything's done.
That's right. And when all that's done, they bring Jason Autry back in front of this judge, Creed McGinley, and they plead him out and they give him an 8-year sentence.
Concurrent sentence.
Concurrent to a sentence he was already serving in a completely unrelated case.
So not 1 day in jail
Not 1
for
minute.
this. Not one
Not
minute
one-
in jail for this.
What you are hearing him testify to, albeit false, he later pled and got sentenced to not 1 extra minute in prison for what he was already serving on an unrelated case.
I
What a lucky
wonder,
guy. What a
did they
lucky
include
guy.
that in anything in a post-conviction petition? Because I'll say, I think that there's very easily an argument to be made that agreement was understood. I don't know if he's ever admitted or if anyone's asked him. Was that what you understood the agreement to be well before you pleaded? Because I have read some cases, albeit it's likely Illinois cases, where I mean, I don't know, it could be anywhere, but where, they're intentionally keeping the plea to the end when everybody knows he's going to get it for the exact reason we're saying, so that you can't discredit them and impeach them at trial. But I mean, if you're the jury and you knew this, you knew he wasn't going to serve 1 minute in jail for this.
Well, all I can tell you is we can connect the dots and you can draw your own conclusion. No one will cop to that. No one will admit that an
they really
explicit
knew it.
conversation with an explicit sentence had been arranged in advance of this testimony. And to some extent, I kind of get it, because Autry's wily enough that if you're the prosecutors, you don't want to give him a plea and a sentence and then bring him in there and have him pull one of those Godfather scenes where he's like, oh, his father and I were in the olive oil business. I don't know nothing about no Cosa Nostra. You don't want any of that. I get it. But 8 years for what he's telling you happened here, where he's present at the murder. I mean, that's felony murder. I mean, he got an 8-year sentence. If you believe what he's saying, and you shouldn't because he's lying, but if you believe what he's saying, he was part of a felony murder and he got an 8-year sentence and not 1 minute more than he was going to do anyway on some other case. So it's an astonishingly good outcome arranged for Jason Autry by a man who had worked with these prosecutors many, many times and arranged a lot of plea bargains with them. So, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it may be a duck.
Right.
I guess. I mean, so.
All right. Well, let's pick it up. And thanks for joining us, Dana. We are.
Oh,
so
the other thing I want you to pay attention to the extent it's already happened and it will continue to happen. This is probably the most perfect chain of custody for a murder weapon ever in a murder, because Jason Autry has the murder weapon from the moment it arrives in Shane Austin's hands. He sees it then. He does not see it again until a few moments in the future where he's about to explain what happened at the river. And then the next time he sees it is when Shane Austin delivers it back to Victor Densmore. And then Victor Densmore gets on the stand and explains how all that happened. It's the most perfect chain of custody established by felons for a murder weapon that you will ever hear in your life. I mean,
all right.
It's a prosecutor's dream for this murder weapon to be so perfectly accounted for at 4 different times, and only 4 different times.
All right. Well, let's watch it play out. And thanks for joining us, Dana.
Glad to do it.
Indeed.
Did you look inside the blanket?
Never.
Did you unwrap?
Never.
how were you able to swing her body around and you get the top part and Zachary Adams gets the bottom part without unwrapping the blanket?
I grabbed the blanket just like you would this shirt right here. The body didn't weigh very much. I was in pretty good shape, I'm a pretty good sized guy. I grabbed the blanket just like that right there. And walked to the tailgate of the truck. At that time, we grabbed the legs. We set the body down with the upper torso on that pile of riprap that y'all just showed, that we just discussed.
After you put Holly's body down on the riprap, what happened?
Mr. Adams goes to the driver's side of the pickup. And I'm standing over the top of him with my hands on my knees.
I've lost audio here. Hold on.
That's because I muted myself.
Oh,
See how
it's
she
not,
kind
it's
of,
not my fault.
it's not you,
Yes.
motioning to him to like tell the jury who prepared this non-expert, non-police officer to speak to the jury when he's talking.
And not only that, if you listen carefully, there are times that he uses what is plainly what I call cop speak, like proceeded to, vehicle. He uses terms and vocabulary words that are not, in my experience, common to street criminals and addicts. He sounds like he spent a lot of time with cops and prosecutors.
Yeah, that's so it seems. So it seems. All right.
She laying right here. And at that time, I see the foot move, and a sound of distress. It sounded like, come out of the voice, come from the blanket. At that time, I walked to the door, to the passenger side door of the pickup. Mr. Adams was digging in a fanny pack. I told him, I said, this fucking bitch is still alive. We just stopped for a second. I walked to the front of the truck. I told Zach, I said, she's heard my name called and heard me talking and all. At that time, he wheels around, walks back to the driver's side pickup, out of the floorboard pickup. He pulls a pistol, the same pistol that was holstered on Mr. Austin's side at 30 Yellow Springs Road.
Same one.
And I said, whoa.
Let me ask you something here. Did you say whoa because you thought you were going to save her life and stop him from doing something bad? Or did you say whoa for another reason?
I said, whoa, for another reason, to go look.
Where'd you go look?
Because we showed you on them 3 pictures.
I'm going to put back exhibit 177 up there.
Now, pause it for just a second, Allie,
I said, whoa,
please.
and I run.
Okay. Now, keep this in mind. Everybody up until this moment in time believes she's dead.
Right.
Okay. Aside from the fact that it's important for the prosecution to have some eyewitness to the actual murder so they can actually pin it on Zach, how convenient is this? Aside from that, these idiots jumped in this truck with this, what they thought, body. No shovels, no picks, no nothing. And on the way, they decide, well, we're going to have to gut her and throw her in the river for the reasons that Jason Autry said. And yet, when they suddenly need a gun to actually commit the murder, finally, once and for all, poof, the magic gun appears. The gun they would never otherwise have needed that moment in time has now transported magically from Shane Austin's holster into the floorboard of the truck just when Zach Adams most apparently needs it. And spoiler alert, Jason Autry's whoa, because he wants to go look. He wants to go make sure that they're alone down here at the bottom of this bridge. Apparently, they completely missed boat guy's truck, trailer, and boat, because as we heard in December, a witness came forward 14 years later and said, well, I took my truck and trailer and boat down there, and I was right around the corner from where this happened, and I heard this gunshot that Autry's about to explain. So Jason Autry,
The state found this witness?
he came forward and presented himself to none other than Brent Booth, whose cell phone number he had for reasons because they've been friends for many years. So Jason Autry is not only what I call the world's best go with guy, right? Like you need somebody to go with you, call
Yeah.
Jason Autry because he'll go with you to get rid of a body on a moment's notice, no prep, no nothing. He's a go with guy. However, he's the world's worst lookout because if you believe what he's about to tell you, then he missed boat guy, his truck, trailer, and boat when he had one job, which was to make sure that no one was there when they did what they were about to do.
Whoa. Let me go make sure no one's here. Let's hear how
That's right. That's right.
All right, let's hear him do that now.
Yep.
All the way across here to about this area and looked that way to see if anything was coming.
How far could you see down there?
Maybe 250 yards. It's a pretty long stretch from right here to the next curve. I looked around, and when I looked back around, Mr. Adams was standing.
Let me stop. You said you looked around. Did you stay down there in the corner, or did you come back?
I stayed right here working back and forth, watching.
What about looking the other way?
There was nothing coming. I looked back this way, and I told him there was nothing coming.
When did you look back the other way? The way that you came in on.
Just shortly after I noticed that I looked down here and wasn't nothing coming.
Okay. Big lights. Hang on.
Well, he looked both ways.
All right, you can keep going.
I looked around and I told him there was nothing coming, the coast was clear, something to that effect. And at that time, boom, the gun went off. And it sounded like to me that it shot 3-4 times underneath that bridge. I had done made it back. I had done started my way back this way. And it sounded like boom, boom, boom underneath that bridge. It was just one shot, but it echoed underneath that bridge all the way down that damn river bottom.
Pause
When
one
the
more
gun
time,
went
Allie.
off, It was Martins went everywhere.
I'm sorry.
When years later, when this testimony was coming under intense scrutiny and an apparent effort to corroborate this ridiculous story,
The boom, 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 or just
the
those
boom,
strange-
the boom, boom,
Okay.
boom,
The
state of
echoing.
yes, the state of Tennessee law enforcement agents went down underneath that bridge and desperately tried to recreate that echo effect. Boom, boom, boom. And they never got the gun to register louder than the ambient traffic noise from the bridge above. Never mind echo.
Wow.
So, I've said this story that he's telling sounds a lot like the last moments of Fredo in The Godfather, where he's taken out on the boat and shot from behind, boom, 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 on the the mist-filled lake, and the birds fly away.
Right.
That's what this sounds like.
That's so
That
funny.
died.
I just watched a series where like somebody asked somebody something and he like pretended he told a story from The Godfather, pretending that it was
Right.
that it was him.
So that not only did the state of Tennessee in the last year discover boat guy, who he's about to talk about without knowing who he is, who finally came to the courthouse and said, "Oh, I heard this shot happen. I was there."
And the echo.
And the echo. Not only did they produce the witness who supposedly heard this gunshot and the echo, they also tried desperately to recreate this gunshot with the echo and failed miserably. So you have a witness who's been missing for 14 years, who lives in this community, whose wife, is an avid follower of the story, who is connected to law enforcement sufficiently that he has Brent Booth's cell phone number. And yet he doesn't realize that he should run down to the courthouse immediately and tell everyone what he heard until 2025. And then the state of Tennessee tries and fails to recreate this moment. And Brent Booth shrugs and says, "Well, I don't know what the temperature and the humidity was, and I don't know. I didn't.
I don't know the sciences, man.
So,
I ain't don't know answers about the
The
science.
This
science
would
ain't
be-
sciencing.
Come
That's
on,
right.
man.
This testimony would be horrific and deeply disturbing if it were true. And I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to have to jump off. But here's the other thing to remember about this story, where it goes next, and I won't ruin it for everybody. But number one, Dr. Spirico and I went and tried to recreate the timeline that Jason Autry has and will shortly conclude telling you. It can't be done. You cannot do what he says what he's about to say they did. Number
In the
one.
time that he
In the
says
time. Number two, you also, if they did what he says, their phones would have registered on a different cell tower sector than they actually registered on. So we have conclusively established that the story he's about to tell about what happens after this boom, boom, boom is false. And number three, keep in mind that for what he's about to tell you to be true, here's what would have had to happen that day. Somebody went and snatched Holly Bobo, took her phone and presumably her to what we call the cell tower, where her remains were found 3.5 years later, apparently believed that they murdered her there, but put her in the truck, took her back to Shane's house. Jason Autry shows up and they go on this river adventure to be rid of her body. And he's about to tell you that they couldn't quite pull it off. So they get back in the truck and go back to Shane's house. And then eventually the body winds up back at the cell tower where presumably it had been earlier that day and dead. So
Is that because they had to have her on the couch at some point because of Dylan's story, or
I'm honestly, the longer I look at this case, the more I think that nobody ever sat down and red teamed their own case. Like the prosecution never sat down and said, if a smart defense lawyer comes at us with what is on our hard drive, everyone's got the same hard drive. How do we explain this? Because for Jason Autry's story to be true, somebody had what they thought was a dead girl in the woods north of Interstate 40. Picked her up, took some but not all of her belongings, flung them out the window, drove back to Shane's house, left a trail of evidence along the way. Autry shows up. They're like, we got to dump this body. Never mind, we could have just left it where it was a minute ago, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go all the way to the river and back, and we're going to wind up bringing the body back here, and then we're going to go back to where we had her dead the first time and leave her and her shit there. This makes absolutely no sense. It's not even possible, according to the forensic evidence of the cell phones and everything else. It didn't happen. So, spoiler, everything you're hearing Jason Autry testify to, except that he rode around and got high that day, is a lie. And it's a lie that he concocted with the benefit of the discovery files and some liaisons with his lawyer and the prosecution, and then some sit-downs and proffers with the prosecution, and a field trip with the prosecution to go show them all this shit that he said that he's now testifying to. And as I said, it would be a horrific story to hear if it were true, but none of this happened, and it's conclusively established now that it couldn't have happened. So I'm not telling you that I don't believe Jason Autry. I don't believe Jason Autry because the evidence cannot permit this to be possible, and that's what the whole post-conviction relief hearings were about. It was in part to dismantle this absurd story that Jason Autry has sold to the prosecution in return for an incredibly lenient sentence. Jason Autry is currently serving a 19-year sentence on an unrelated charge. He flattened out his 8 years on this and the other case, and got out of prison, and within a few weeks, literally, was charged again with a possession of a gun, felon in possession. Caught a 19-year sentence, and he's in federal custody.
Do you know why they didn't subpoena him to testify at the post-conviction? I understand
they
the
did.
recording couldn't be used.
Oh, they did. And in spite of the fact that the prosecution, as you can see, obviously, when they needed him, they brought him. When they didn't want to hear what he was currently saying, they made sure he could not be brought. They insisted that the judge appoint him a lawyer. They argued that they couldn't sign and wouldn't sign the documents that needed to be signed to get him out of federal custody and brought. They said he was too dangerous to bring to court. They did everything they could to keep Jason Autry off the stand at the post-conviction relief.
He's a bad, bad man.
Well, he was too dangerous. He's too dangerous to bring to court in 2025, but not too dangerous to bring to court repeatedly for this.
No, he's good. Like they took his
He's a country
Hannibal
boy.
Lecter mask off right before he came into the courtroom. So, you know,
you can see why it was convincing. You know, who would say this if it weren't true, right? Who would implicate themselves like this?
I mean,
with these
especially
details?
the fucking bitch is alive.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like that's like,
Right.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Just keep in mind as you watch the rest of this that he has sold this story for basically a get out of jail free card.
Yeah. Well, get out of the death penalty free card.
That's right. So,
Yep.
That
hey
too.
guys, I'm gonna jump off, but enjoy the rest of this bullshit.
Hey, thanks for coming to hang, man.
Thanks for
And you
having
guys
me.
can hear more of Dana and his co-host on the podcast Trial and Error.
Yeah,
just go
Katie's
through this whole
currently
case.
surviving 3 days without electricity. If you guys,
Yeah,
want-
and if you go check out our podcast, we have a whole episode where we take this thing apart.
It's
and
amazing.
show you why this cannot be true.
Yeah, they've got 2 parts on Autry that are phenomenal. So
See ya.
Episode
Trial
2
and Error
and 3.
Pod, go check it out.
See you guys.
ASAP.
All right, see ya. All right, so let's keep going. Hey, babe, I was actually going to tell you, can you take over
Hmm?
at
For
the
what?
12:20 mark? While you do that, I'll go through these stickers real quick.
Go through the stickers. Okay, what
Stickers.
are you doing?
I don't know. I got to come up there. I got to get something. I got to do some stuff.
Wow. Wow. Sounds like you're dipping.
No, not dipping. Not dipping. Disgruntled Pelican K9K says, I binged the entire Trial and Error podcast yesterday. The prosecution was straight up corrupt. There's a special place in hell for detectives who press people with learning and developmental disabilities. Yeah, we'll be definitely getting to that. Birdman is a new member. Welcome.
Good man.
Family hug.
Aw, family hug.
And objection, Your Honor. TL, new member. Family hug for you too. Family hug
Aw.
for you too.
Family hug. All right.
We're right at the 12:20:15 on the clock there at the bottom.
Yeah, somebody closed my shit down. So it's a whole thing. It's a
Or
whole
should I just
process.
keep going?
Yeah, keep going until I get it
All right.
queued up, which I will.
Mark,
I'm gonna
the
boot back
bridge was
real
just
quick.
one shot, but it echoed underneath the bridge all the way down that damn river bottom.
Boo.
And when the
Boo.
gun went off,
Boo.
there was Martins went everywhere.
I'm sorry.
Martins, bridge, birds went everywhere, just all up under that bridge. And it was just dead silence for just a second.
Wow.
I was still in this general
Now I
location
want to
right
play back that movie scene,
here. And I heard a boat,
Godfather.
Haven't you ever seen it?
boat crank up, a boat
heard a
running
boat.
somewhere in either here or over here, somewhere there was a boat, either down the Tennessee River right here.
I don't know if you've
That's
ever
what I'll
seen
run.
it for Godfather
Run back
2.
over to the truck, and I told him, I said, God damn, we have been seen or heard. And at that time, Mr. Adams grabbed the feet. I grabbed the same spot at the upper torso. Blood spot was probably the size of a grapefruit at that time. We load the body back into the truck in the same fashion, shut the tailgate, and turn out of there like wild Indians, just driving the wrecker. And I told him, I said, this is a federal refuge. There's no firearms supposed to be allowed down here. If they see us driving like this, we're gonna be the suspects. So we slowed down.
Now, those are the exact words you used. Did you say it that calmly? This is the federal refuge, we will be suspects?
Of course not. I mean, it's,
That's what you said.
word for word, I probably can't, It's over 6 years ago. You know,
All right, you told him to slow down.
let him slow down. Yeah.
Before we go any further about where you went, I want to back up a little bit. When you looked and saw it and said nothing's coming, you said you turned around and saw Mr. Adams over Holly.
That's correct.
May this defendant come over here and demonstrate what he saw?
Yes.
Mr. Autry, come over here. I want you to stand here, face the jury, and show them the position of Holly's body and where Zachary Adams was standing.
This is the rip wrap. Pile of rip wrap right there. We're going. I set the body down with the upper torso inclined, like you would set, like this right here. When I was standing over here, Mr. Adams was standing at the upper torso at this fashion.
So he was
I could
standing up.
not see him. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty high vegetation.
Right, so you said he was standing here like this. I mean, he was up on the riprap looking down on her.
That's correct, like this.
All right. Did he have anything in his hand?
Yeah, the pistol.
She said,
When
what?
he got the pistol
What are you doing?
out of the truck, huh? He got the pistol out of the truck before I ever went to here, and didn't put it up
I got it.
over here.
So you loaded Holly back up in the white Nissan.
I mean, she was like, oh, look, she did a little hair toss. Hair toss. Like she was like, what are you doing? And he was like, what? Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Just wanted him to stop. Or don't boost the sound.
Went to here,
Would you have it on?
and then
1.5. I'm coming up behind you in a second.
over here.
So you loaded Holly back up in the white Nissan Frontier.
That's correct.
You told the jury to take off back down the road.
Back down this, come out this way right here, get back on this road right here, back on this little gravel here. We driving just erratic, just panic, just pretty much, right?
But what happens from there?
We travel back. You want this back?
No, not yet.
We travel back. We set a course back. I look at my cell phone and I told him, I said, man, I need to get to hell to Benton County and meet Angela for lunch.
When I asked you about your kind of routine with her, when you weren't working, was that part of the routine?
When I wasn't working, she expected me to be at Benton County Health Department with lunch, to spend with her through her lunch period.
She had, what, half an hour or so?
She had half an hour. She wanted me to get her something to eat and meet her there.
Well, let's be honest, is that the only reason you wanted to get away at that point? You said,
No. When I realized, keep in mind, a few minutes before that, I had just shot one hell of a load of dope. And when I realized and heard the gun go off, I come pretty much to my senses. I realized that this old boy has made some bad mistakes, some bad judgments, and his ass was in a bind. And I was looking for a way to put some distance between me and that situation.
all right, so other than telling you to slow down so you guys didn't get caught on your way out of the refuge, did you have any discussion about what had just happened or what had happened before you got to Shane's trailer that morning?
I did. Approximately, just as briefly, I mean, after the most intense part of it got gone, I asked him, how did she get here? How did you know her? And he said that Natalie Bobo was working at a strip club at North 40, prostituting for drugs and stuff like that. She had been coming down there, fucking him, and left the idea that victim Bobo was going to be in a threesome with him, been showing him pictures of her and stuff like that. He also said that the victim had been to his house before.
He said all this from the time y'all left, headed back.
That's correct.
Did he tell you how she ended up in the truck? Because that doesn't answer that question. How'd she end up wrapped up in a blanket in Zach Adams' truck?
Days later, he did. Not that day. It was days later.
Okay, so where did you go at that point?
We went back. I went back to the PT Cruiser and got back out. Got into the PT Cruiser. Went to 641. Realized that I didn't have enough time to make it to her lunch. and I sat north of Interstate 40, texting her through her lunch period. When I pulled out, Zach was pulling back in 30 Yellow Springs Road, which was Austin's.
So he dropped you off at your PT Cruiser?
Back at the PT Cruiser, where at that time I made an attempt to go to Benton County.
You said you came around, he was pulling in, so I don't understand.
He was pulling back in at 30 Yellow Springs Road, back where Dylan and Shane was.
All right. So he drops you off at church, and then he goes back to Shane's.
That's correct.
And what's the distance from the church to Shane's?
Less than a mile.
When is the next time that you saw or spoke to Zach Adams that day, if you did?
At approximately 2:15, I established contact again.
Okay, that's my big words. I established contact. Who called him?
I called. I initiated the call.
I didn't hear about it.
And I asked him, was they together? Could I get another peel? And he said, yeah. That Dinsmore was over at Dottie's. Victor Dinsmore was over at Dottie's. We would run over there and get the peel. And I told him, I said, we're going to have to hurry up. I got to be back over here at the Quick Mart at 3:30. This was approximately 2:30 when I arrived back at 235 Adams Lane.
All right, so you called him, wanted more morphine.
That's correct.
All right. He said, okay, y'all gonna go to Dottie's? Who's Dottie's?
Dottie owns a BP and Marine. Victor was working at her home, remodeling some cabinets, I believe is what. Don't take it that he was working in the home.
Okay. Was Zachary your connection to Victor Dinsmore? Is that why?
I had two connections to Dinsmore. It was Zach and Shane.
Okay.
At that time, me and Dinsmore was not, I had never purchased nothing directly from him, and I was having to go secondhand to get the stuff.
So where did you meet back up with Zach?
235 Adams Lane,
And who lives there?
Mr. Adams,
And is there another house there at the top of the driveway, real close?
grandpa.
And you had been up there before?
Yes, ma'am.
When you pulled up at Zach Adams' house that afternoon, you said around 2:30?
That's correct.
Who was there?
Shane, Dylan, and Zach were standing outside in front of Dylan's Silverado pickup.
Was the white Nissan Frontier there?
No,
So the car that you had been in, or the truck that you had driven with him, the bridge, it wasn't anywhere to be seen?
that's correct.
What did you see or hear?
When I pulled up, the air was just thick with animosity. You could tell that there had been some fighting and anger amongst them.
I'm going to object on any kind of speculation.
You can say what he observed.
Continue on. We got in the truck. I got on the passenger side. Austin got in the middle. Mr. Adams got on the driver's seat. There wasn't a word said for just 30, 45 seconds.
Let me stop you. You talked about two Mr. Adams. Which Mr. Adams was in the driver's seat?
Zach, Dylan was in the back. It was an extended cab, Chevrolet pickup.
All three of y'all were in front.
3 in the front, 1 in the back.
Okay.
From Zach's house to Dottie's house, where we was headed, is less than 2 miles. I mean, you can be in there. I mean, it's less than 2 miles, probably a mile and a half. I don't know exactly. We got in there and we pulled out of the driveway. Him and Shane started arguing.
Who's him?
Zach and Shane. We pulled it in.
Arguing about what? Finish that thought.
Yeah. Well, Shane told him, he said, you didn't have to kill her. And Zach told him, said, you're just as damn guilty. You hit it. And Zach told him, said, you shut your fucking mouth. I'm sick of it being discussed. We're here. We pulled up. And he told him, he said, I'll whoop your goddamn ass. And they got out of the truck at Dottie's. And 1 lick was exchanged. Zach hit Shane. Dinsmore pulls up. Dinsmore comes outside, and this unidentified lady and stops it. Well, Dinsmore comes out, and the fight stops. I look to my right, which is inside the carport, and there's this identified lady standing there. I didn't know who she was. They get back in the truck. Dinsmore walks up there. We purchased the pill. Dinsmore said, your wife said she spoke to you. And Zach said, I moved 4 rims in your shop to get my truck in. And he said, Jason's in a hurry. Train's in a hurry. He didn't call me Jason, he called me Train. He said, Train's in a hurry. We got to get him back over here, and I'll talk to you later.
Did Dylan ever get out of the truck?
He never got out of the vehicle.
So let's back up a little bit about what the conversation between Zachary Adams and Victor Dinsmore. Who said something about somebody's wife?
Dinsmore said that his wife had spoke to Zach.
Okay. My wife spoke to you.
Yeah, my wife said she talked to you earlier today.
Okay.
Dinsmore said, yeah, I went over and I moved four rims out of your shop, and I pulled my truck in.
And And who said that? Who said, I moved 4 rims?
Zach said I moved 4 rims out of your shop.
Watch it.
Man, this mofo has a memory like a steel trap, doesn't he? 6 years later, I remember it all. Remember it all. Motherfucker called me train. You know, that's what he called me. Had to move those rims out the way. This guy. I mean, if you watch witnesses in trials where there's been a large gap in time, it's just not how the human memory works. Your shit doesn't get better. You know, the concept that like this was some kind of major life event, so he's committed it all to memory, is ridiculous. It's a he's you know, it's like this weird dichotomy where he's convincing, but at the same time, your common sense has to be telling you after this much time, there's no fucking way this guy's remembering all this shit. There's no way. If you're a juror, like if I was back in chamber, I'd be like, man, that dude had a story, bro. Like this guy had shit on lock. All these years later, I mean, he remembered every little detail years later. Smells like bullshit. Like, I mean, somebody had it. It's like, because he's convincing. He's convincing. But it's just like Dana said, man, you know, it's like it's plug and play. Like all that shit that he's talking about probably was his fucking day. And then he just plugged Holly in there and plugged Zach in there. You know, just like it was like, so the things that he remembers is like just daily Jason Autry shit. And he's just rolling. It's crazy. Scary as shit. Scary as shit that you can get convicted in this country on some shit like this. Roll some felons in there, sweetheart deals, throw their ass on the stand, supply them with discovery for 18 months, get their shit on lock. It's crazy.
The microphone makes a lot of buzz. Now you got some space there.
Well, I'm trying to talk in it and be heard.
So you went there to get appealed. Did you get appealed?
I did.
Directly to you or through Dinsmore to Zach?
Dinsmore walked up to the window. They paid the money, my money, and the appeal just come across from one hand to the other to me. And that was kind of the gateway that day that broke the ice that led into the future of me and Dinsmore being quote unquote friends. Once I made a drug deal with him, you know, he realized it.
I want to back up to the part where they were arguing about Holly. And I want you to use names instead of he said or him. Who said what about you didn't have to kill her, and then you're just as guilty, you hit it. It's unclear to me who said what.
Okay. Mr. Austin said, you didn't have to kill her. And he looked at him, Zach looked at him, he told him, he said, you're just as guilty, you hit it.
Are you using the word you hit it? You hit it?
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Fucked her.
So he said, you're just as guilty as I am, you hit it.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
They get into the fight. They get out of the truck, go to the front of the truck. Mr. Adams. And that ended. By the time he lands that lick, Dinsmore's right.
Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna bloop through. See if we pick this shit back up. Oh, we'll be
South, is that correct?
That's correct. Went straight back to 235 Adams Lane.
And when you got back to Adams Lane, was the white Nissan Frontier back there? Or was it still gone?
It was not there.
Did you hang around or did you leave when you got back?
I did not. As I testified, that I had to be in another county at 3:30, and that was from where Zach lived to where I had to be. It was 35 to 40 minute drive. If you pushed it, you know, you really had to go. So I didn't have enough meth left to supply So I wasn't gonna stay anyway. I didn't have enough to get everybody high. I just had enough for me. I was an addict. I was looking out for me.
You used a phrase a minute ago, is that opened or broke the ice. We're talking about what had happened earlier on the 13th.
With Dinsmore. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm saying that what you heard on the way to Dinsmore, and that Dinsmore sort of, well, okay. So you're saying that broke the ice with Dinsmore?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I testified, the reason that I didn't go directly to Dinsmore to buy the meth is because, to buy the morphine, is because I had never purchased nothing directly from him.
So tell me, after you left the afternoon of the 13th, when is the next opportunity you had, the next time you talked to any of the three of them about what had happened on the 13th? I'm not asking for a day, unless you remember. I'm more asking for
2 days later.
Your Honor, I'm going to object if they're going to get into 404D evidence that's not related to these charges. The other thing is, I'm going to object to hearsay as to what somebody else may have told Mr. Autry, not specifically Mr. Adams.
My question was simply, when is the next opportunity he had? I didn't ask him what anybody said.
Well, I'm just in advance, Your Honor. I'm anticipating one.
All right, be cautious, please.
So Mr. Autry, I want you to listen to my questions very carefully, and if I don't ask you what somebody said, don't volunteer.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, when is the next opportunity that you had to speak to Zach Adams, Dylan Adams, or Shane Austin?
2 days later.
That would have been Friday the 15th.
That's correct.
And on that day, which of the three of them did you talk to?
Zach,
Where were you?
I was in Benton County.
All right. And did he come to Benton County, or were y'all talking over the phone?
He called me. We agreed to meet behind the marathon at Interstate 40.
Marathon Station at Interstate 40.
That's correct. Horse 641 and Interstate 40 crisscross. There's a marathon.
And is Adams Lane right off of 641?
From there, it's a mile or so. It's close.
So my question was, is Adams Lane, does it run directly on 641?
Yes,
Okay. So it's their driveway. They're on 641. They just have an Adams Lane.
that's correct.
Okay. Did you agree to meet?
I did.
And when you got there, who was there?
Dylan and Zach.
And did y'all just pull up in front of the store, or did you meet somewhere else?
At the marathon, there's a side road that cuts back behind it. We met in a wooded area, maybe a quarter mile from the marathon.
Is that an area that you had been to before?
That's correct.
What was back there in the thicket?
Marijuana.
Whose plants?
Fine.
Had Zach Adams been in that location with you before? Like when you said meet at the marathon?
He's never been in there with me before.
So you pulled up, he pulled up, correct?
I was there first and he pulled in behind me.
What vehicle were they in and he was driving?
They were in Dylan's Chevrolet extended cab pickup.
Your Honor, this time, we need to approach.
Your Honor, I'd ask for a jury out hearing if there's going to be any kind of jury decision. So we can get it on
There
record.
will be.
Okay, Secretary of the Jury Room, listen for it.
All right, got a little bloopage.
Okay,
So you find it to be fall within. It's not, it is merely contextual to what happened in the aftermath of Holly Bobo's murder. But just in case you find it to be fall within 440, I didn't want to start it without.
okay.
So I think it's better, I'll outline for you what I believe, and then I'd like to put on proof to Mr. Autry. Once they were parked in the parking lot of this marathon, there was a conversation between Mr. Autry and Zach Adams. A request was made by Zach Adams, and that's the testimony I'm gonna ask the witness.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? So Mr. Autry, move forward, make sure that you hear you. When you were there first, you said he pulled up in Dylan's extended cab, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you get out of your car,
I
or
did not.
did somebody come to your car?
Zach come to my car.
Okay.
We proceeded to
Did he get into the car?
get into the car. Yeah,
Okay, he's on the passenger side, you're on the driver's side?
that's correct.
Did you have a conversation?
That's correct.
Did you tell the judge the entire conversation that you had?
Whenever he got in the car, I handed him a meth pack. He took a couple of hits off of it, and I asked him, I said, "What'd you ever do with the old girl?" He said, "We throwed her out over near Kelly Ridge." He said, "That's not the main reason I'm here." He said, "Fucking Dylan, ain't been to bed and won't stop talking about it." He said, "I want to see if you'll get rid of him, kill him for me." At that time, he made an offer for me to get rid of Mr. Dylan.
Your Honor, it's the state's position that 404B statement of Mr. Adams falls directly into the category of his motive, his intent, his plan to get away with this crime, because at that time, because Dylan Adams hadn't been to bed and wouldn't quit talking, he was afraid being Zach Adams, was afraid Dylan Adams was going to implicate him and that he would be caught. And I truly don't believe it's 404B. I think it truly are statements made directly after the murder took place, the kidnapping and the rape. But we do City Hall.
First of all, Your Honor, this is something that's happening 2 days later, so it is not directly related to statements directly after the murder, the alleged murder of Holly Bobo. Second of all, it's irrelevant as to whether at that point the crime, the murder of Holly Bobo is completed, it is finished. What happens next is irrelevant, Your Honor. So it's not relevant to whether or not Mr. Adams was involved in shooting Holly Bobo, he shot Holly Bobo, he kidnapped her, or he raped her. So it's independent of that. Next, it's highly prejudicial because it paints Mr. Adams out to be a killer of his own brother. Somebody who, I mean, that's a second murder, or second attempted murder that they're trying to pull in here. And then after that, it's just, if you give it any kind of 404 analysis, it's just highly prejudicial. And the prejudice of this outweighs the probative value of whether or not this is, probative value that it has as to whether or not Mr. Adams killed Holly Bobo. We've already heard that. The whole murder is complete. We've already heard all the murder information. And at this point, these are just additional crimes and wrongs that they're trying to bring in. It doesn't show a pattern because it doesn't show anything about the murder. The murder is completed, allegedly. If you're going to believe Mr. Autry. The murder is completed. It's final. And so now what they're trying to introduce doesn't go to show anything about the murder.
Let me guess, this judge is 100% letting this shit in.
And we, of course,
It's contextual.
It's
It's showing an attempt to cover a crime by further doing things to keep it from being undetected by other people.
all the context.
He's not charged with trying to cover up a murder.
It's part of the context, though. The court finds that it is particularly probative.
Yeah, I find it to be incredibly
It doesn't
probative,
really
ma'am.
go to a character trait.
Now, I'm
It
trying
goes
to
an
get back to
attempt
my game.
keep something from being discovered, and the court finds that its probative value does outweigh the danger of unfair prejudice. So even if it's 404, which I'm not sure it is, I think it's contextual, the court finds that nevertheless it would be in this one, okay? Clear to this evidence. Court finds. All right. Take lunch. Let's take till 1. Till 1, let's just it out. Hey, Ms. Ross, you may have to continue with your testimony.
Mr. Autry, I want to back up a little bit.
Laker.
The place we left off before lunch. I want you to begin with Friday, 2 days after Holly Bobo was shot in front of you, when you met Zach Adams at the Marathon Station, okay?
Correct.
That's where I want to pick up. And then we'll back up just a little bit about you showing up and him showing up, and then go forward from there, okay?
So that evening, I received a phone call, and he asked me to meet him at no set location, but I decided, I named the location, and we met at the Marathon at 641 and Interstate 40 in a pine thicket.
And what happened?
I got there early first. Zach and Dylan pulled in behind me in a extended cab Chevrolet pickup. Zach come to the front seat of the car, sat down. I handed him a meth pipe. I asked him a question. I said, "What'd you do with that girl?" And he said, "We throwed her out near Kelly Ridge." He said, "That's not the reason I'm here today." He said, "I'm here over Dylan. Dylan hadn't been to bed. Won't stop running his damn mouth about this shit. He's gonna get us in trouble."
And when he told you that, how did you respond?
I asked him what he wanted done.
Tell the jury what was said.
He said his grandpa Dick would probably pass in a few years. And if I'd killed Dylan, that he'd give me a portion of the money and let me live in one of the houses. I did not make an agreement. I told him, I said, "It's something I need to think about, and I'm not prepared to do this today."
Did he indicate to you how he wanted it done, or when he wanted it done?
He did not.
And when you said that to him, what did he say?
Not even close.
He told me if I decided to do that, to let him know. And I told him, I said, "When I get done with that, you'll probably be next."
Meaning what?
Meaning I was going to kill him too.
And what did he say or do after you said that to him?
He hit the pipe a few times. And I asked him, I said, "What's going on with Shane?" He said, "I hadn't seen him." And I said, "Well, I'm fixing to go visit him."
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, you've heard testimony that the defendant, Zachary Adams, allegedly attempted to engage this witness to harm Dylan Adams, as well as other potential bad acts. You may not consider such testimony to prove his disposition to commit the kind of crime for which he is on trial, but rather the testimony may only be considered by you for the limited purpose of determining whether it provides the complete story of the crime. That is, whether such testimony and the charged offenses are logically related or connected so that the testimony of the other tends to prove the one charged or is necessary for a complete account thereof. Okay.
Why did you make the statement that you did? Is that that you decided to do it, that he'd be next?
I felt like after
Wait, DB, Shane is Autry's cousin or Zach's cousin?
I'd sat and evaluated the situation and the circumstances and the reality and the scope of the situation that fell on me, I felt like in my heart that he should have notified me and let me know before you bring me into a situation like that. Meaning the day that I called trying to set up and buy the morphine and you said you need to see me, you should have said you had a dead body there.
Wow.
Or I felt that in my heart. I felt that I was brought into that. And I felt it. That's what I felt.
You asked about Shane and then made the statement that you were going to go check on him. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So did you do that?
I left there, stopped at the store, Dottie's, and got 2 beers, 2 quarts of Bud Light. I proceeded to Shane's house where I ran into a roadblock at 790 Pew Road. The officer was Jeremy Inman. I pulled up. And he looked in the car and seen the alcohol. And he said, Jason, he said, there's search parties and shit all over the place down through there. He looks through the car, through the front, PT Cruiser, looks in the back, in the hatchback. And he said, you need to be careful if you're going to drive through there drinking. And I left, went to Shane's house.
And that's the trailer on Yellow Springs Road.
30 Yellow Springs Road.
Is that the first time you had been back to the trailer since?
That's the first time I had been around any of them or back to Decatur County since the 13th.
Now you're not going to be able to say what Shane said, but I want you to describe what you did when you got to his trailer and what you observed.
When I got to the trailer, he was highly inebriated. And he said, no, I can't say.
Right. So
He was highly inebriated, and I took him away from that situation. There was,
All right, we're talking about Shane.
That's correct.
All right.
Were there search parties all in and around where his trailer was, the road in front of his trailer, the woods?
there was maybe a command post set up at Yellow Springs Church, and people just everywhere in that area.
And again, you can't say what he said, but you can describe his demeanor for the jury. Was he agitated? Was he calm? Was he concerned? How would you describe his demeanor?
Frantic.
Frantic. Right? As a result, because you went there to check on him, right?
That's correct.
So as a result of pulling, you yourself passing the red block, pulling in and seeing all the search parties, you said you wanted to take him away from that situation.
I did.
So what'd you do?
I loaded him in, got him into the PT Cruiser, and left that general location. I noticed as we were going down the road, when I would turn or hit the brakes, that he would go over, nod out, and hit the dash. I was having to catch him with my hand. So I thought, I'll take him and feed him. At that time, I took him to Johnny's Bar and Grill and fed him.
During the course of your meal with him, did he at any time, or did his demeanor change? Did he calm down? Did he sober up? Did you become less concerned?
You know, we were in a bar, and he was not drinking, so he naturally sobered up a little bit. But there was numerous people in the bar, and we left there and went to another bar where he did kind of sober up after he ate, but he never really come to just complete sobriety.
Again, not asking what he said, did you have a conversation with him about what had happened to Holly?
I did not.
Not that night.
Not that night.
So after taking him to eat and then to another bar, did you take him back home?
I did. And at that time, dropped him off, went back to 310 Bentonville Hills, the Angela's house. Yeah.
All right, so that's the conversation that you had with Zach 2 days after Holly was killed. When is the next opportunity that you had to talk to Zach about any of this? I'm not asking for a date. I'm more asking for an event.
I called him and I told him, I said, I've thought about that, about the offer you made. And I said, I'm looking into it, meaning Dylan. At that time, day or so after that, I loaded Dylan up in the truck with a bass boat and carried him to the Tennessee River.
Let me back up. When you called him and said you're looking into it, did you ask him anything about whether his offer was still good?
I did.
Okay, but
Yes.
Maybe we ought to identify by name rather than pronouns. Okay, that's clear.
when you called Zach Adams, did you talk to Zach Adams about the offer that he had previously made to you?
I did.
Okay, did you tell the jury the whole conversation?
It was a brief conversation. I asked him if the offer still stood. He said, yeah, when Papaw passed and the land and the money transfers hands. And I said, all right, I'm thinking about going through with it. And I did set up a date to take Dylan to the river.
Okay, did you set up a day to take Dylan to the river with Zach, or did you set up a day to take Dylan to the river later on? Did you set that up with Dylan?
I surprised Dylan. I knew that he was home and his Papaw was at the water plant. And I showed up with a boat and a little marijuana and lured him into going.
All right. So what'd you tell him? And again,
I asked him if he wanted to go bass fishing.
and did he get in the car with you to go bass fishing?
Just, yes.
Tell the jury what happened after that.
We go to the Tennessee River put in the boat.
How the
Around
hell
the
is
Gulf
all
Creek.
this relevant?
We start bass fishing up a bank.
Thompson tried to
Dylan
keep it
catches a
out.
little old grinnell.
Little what?
A grinnell. Has me to come back
It's one
there.
thing that he was asked. All of this. What the fuck is all of this?
I need give context, but it's contextual. It's context. It gives it context. It's, it's showing his demeanor after committing this horrible crime. Yep. It's admissible. It's
I think that was part of their appeal about a case law that had come down that about this whole context thing that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And take it off. He was scared of the teeth that it had. By that time, we had been there maybe an hour or so, drinking, smoking pot. And I was trolling down the channel, looking for a place to put him. And a little old John boat come up, pulled up beside of us, pulled up beside us and asked if we was catching anything, and he knew Dylan's grandfather. At that point, that stopped everything. We had been spotted. There was no, he positively
I mean,
identified
this
him.
is the
And I bought
most
boat
believable
from
story
Cherokee
I've
Boat
ever
Dock,
heard.
And he knew the owner of the boat that I bought the boat from. So he did not know me, the guy didn't, but he knew the owner of the boat, and he knew Dick Adams.
So you had a conversation with him, and you realized at that point, he knows your boat, he knows Dylan, he knows Dick Adams. You've been seen.
That's correct. Yeah, been seen. So we finished the day, with a portion of the day, fishing and just enjoying it, so to speak. He gets inebriated, drinking, and starts talking. And I asked him, I said, man, at any given time, I said, you could have done like me and walked away. Because in my mind, the last time he seen me, I was leaving 30 Yellow Springs Road, and he did not know about the bridge and all that. He stayed there. So I'm thinking that he thought that he didn't know Jason was involved in anything.
What happened?
He said that,
You can't say what he said.
huh?
You
Carry
can't
on.
say what Dylan said to you.
You can't say what he
You
said.
can say what you did in response to it or what you said to him, okay? But you can't say what Dylan said to you.
And see, did he give you certain information?
That's correct.
Yeah.
He gave me information as to whereabouts the rape.
Your Honor, I'm gonna judge you
All right.
the same.
Hearsay.
No, it's tricky, so just listen to me carefully, okay? Did he give you certain information about April the 13th?
That's correct.
And after hearing that information about April the 13th and what happened, did you take certain actions? Did you do something in response to that information?
Your Honor, I wanna make sure they're not trying to backdoor any hearsay in by
She
then.
knows what my ruling is.
Well, she
Can you
knows.
answer that? Based on, or after hearing that information, did you go somewhere? Did you
I
do
did.
something?
After hearing that information, I went to where the alleged rape was occurred.
After hearing that information, did you go somewhere?
I did.
Where did you go?
Your Honor, I think now he's saying wherever you went is where the alleged rape occurred. He's now saying that's.
All right, you'll disregard what he said, just see if we can get more directly to the point.
Where did you go?
I went to my grandmother's barn.
Okay, well, let's talk about your grandmother's barn. First of all, is your grandmother and Shane Austin's grandmother the same person?
That's correct.
Where was her barn located?
Yellow Springs Road,
Where was her house located?
200 yards across the road.
All right, so you got a house on one side and a barn on the other side.
That's correct.
And are they, I mean, if you're standing on her front porch, can you see across the road to the area where the barn is?
You might see the roof in the fall.
Okay, and where in relation, and let me ask you this, had your grandmother recently passed away?
Grandmother and grandfather.
So was the house vacant at that time?
That's correct.
Was the barn being used at that time?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you go to this barn, and again, without saying, without repeating what Dylan told you, what were you doing at the barn?
I was there to clean up any possible evidence left behind.
Did you see any evidence that needed cleaning up?
I did not.
Will you describe for the jury what the inside of that barn looked like?
It was an old corn crib with hay. If you walked in the front door, there was hay laying to the right with 85% probably of the roof blown off. It was in severe deterioration.
Did you actually go into the barn to look for evidence?
From the door, you could see the scope of the entire, I mean, it was no huge barn.
Did you move anything? Did you clean anything up, or did you just turn around and leave?
The area looked normal, and I turned around and drove off.
How far after the 15th, when you were first, when
I'm always wondering the
Zachary
same
Adams
thing.
first proposed that you kill his brother on the 15th. How long a period of time until you were at the barn? In other words, was it May, June, July, August? Do you remember?
It was some months.
Weren't working on your calendar, were you?
Absolutely not. In fact, I was just in the area and the idea thought popped into mind.
Popped into mind as a result of getting certain information that we can't talk about.
That's correct. That I might need to look, and if there's anything out there, dispose of it.
Okay. Do you ever have another conversation with Zachary Adams about killing Holly, raping Holly, kidnapping Holly?
I did.
When was that?
The day that we got caught with the deer stand.
All right, let's talk about the day you got caught with the deer stand.
Well, that day we were out riding around,
Okay. When you say we,
me and Zach.
okay,
We go to Eagle Creek, Camden, Tennessee, in my pickup, go into his hunting club. He steals a deer stand, and I steal a camera,
a what?
a camera,
Okay.
trail camera.
Okay, trail cam.
Hot summer day. We stop.
Let me ask you this. Is it a hot summer day, the same year, 2011?
It's not.
Okay.
No, this was August of 2012.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yes.
It was a pretty good walk in there. On the way out, we stopped and sat down where a road had been pushed through in the bank. Sit on the bank. Took a couple of hits off a meth pipe. And I looked at him and I said, looks like we got by with this shit.
Were you talking about the deer stand and the trail cam, or were you talking about something else?
Talking about the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Holly Bobo. I told him, I said, Dylan said,
Oh, no, I understand. This is a statement you made to Zach.
that's correct.
Your Honor, it's still hearsay. It's still hearsay. It's hearsay within hearsay.
Maybe first.
It still is hearsay. All of it's hearsay, but if it's effect on the listener, then he might be able to get it in. Babe, are you back there? We're looking at color bars. Let me see where we're at here. Robert Michael. All right, let me see. Let's see, I can't even figure out. Oh, there he is. Whew.
You're at this hunting club, is that right?
That's correct.
You made a statement, looks like we got away with this shit.
That's correct.
And then what did he say?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you the other day, this is not being offered for the truth of what he said. It's offered as far as follow-up response. So you shall not consider what he said for the truth of it, okay? All right.
What did Zach?
Except you
how did
actually
Zach
can,
respond?
because this is a statement against a party opponent.
He said the real reason that we were there was to show Clint how to manufacture meth. He said we got there early. She come outside screaming and raising hell, and we took her.
All right, that's not offered for the truth of it. Besides that, it's allegedly a statement of the defendant, not a third party, okay?
Okay. And how did you respond to that information?
It doesn't even make any sense.
I just listened to it. I mean, I did not. In fact, I brought up the issue that we had been there long enough. Let's go. My truck was sitting in plain view down at the locked gate on private property. So, I mean, once the breath was caught and a few minutes of rest, it was time to go.
Time to take the trail cam that you stole and hit the road.
That's correct.
Did y'all do that?
That's
Took
correct.
the deer stand and the trail cam and left.
That's correct.
Did you have any other conversations with Zach about what happened to Holly?
I have not.
At any point in time, did you go, you told us about the barn, did you go look somewhere else because of information you received?
I did.
Okay, first off, who gave you the information?
I obtained the information from Zach 2 days after the 13th, the 15th in the wooded area.
So you mentioned earlier that Zach told you you dumped her at Kelly's Ridge.
Near Kelly's Ridge.
So what is Kelly's Ridge? Where is Kelly's Ridge?
Kelly's Ridge is in Benton County, Tennessee. It's a hunting club, maybe. It's a long, there's a gate there and a great road that runs down through the property for a long ways. I mean, that's just backwoods, as far as, for a long ways, yeah.
At some point, did you go to Kelly's Ridge?
I did. I tried. I come through there one day, and I noticed some birds sitting near a pond bank.
Like sparrows or some other kind of bird?
Buzzards.
Buzzards.
Well, this was within a week
Buzzards.
of the disappearance.
Okay.
I thought that that's where the body was. So I stopped at the house and asked the people, could I go to?
Let's slow down. So you had the information about Kelly's Ridge.
That's correct.
Did you drive? You said I was driving through there. Did you drive through there on purpose to look around, or did you just happen to be driving through there? If you remember.
I wasn't purposely looking. I mean, when I seen that, it all flashed before the mind. I mean, yeah, I never went out with the search parties or.
No, I understand that. I'm saying, did you go to that area because Zach Adams had told you we dumped Holly near Kelly's Ridge?
I rode through there, yeah,
Okay.
looking to see what I could see.
All right. And you said that you saw buzzards close to a lake.
There's 2 ponds there on the property at the entrance of Kelly Road, at Kelly Ridge. I seen buzzards sitting in an old dead tree in the backside of one of them ponds.
So what did that mean to you?
I mean,
Something dead.
this
And you
guy's
walked up
shit
to the
is
house. So
tight.
is there a house close to those?
There's a house at the entrance of Kelly Road. I got out and I knocked on the door and I asked the person living there if I could go fishing down there.
You said you asked the person, so somebody answered the door?
There was, yes.
And,
There-
what is that?
They told me no, that there had been some river otters or creek otters come through there and wiped all the fish out. They didn't want nobody on the property. At that time, I got back in the vehicle and left.
And this person that you talked to, was it a male or a female?
I'm not sure. I think there was both people there.
But they wouldn't let you.
They would not let me up to the door. I mean, I was met from a distance. Just as soon as I pulled up, they come out to the screen door.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
I believe him. That's what I'd be thinking if I was sure. I'd be like, oh, I mean, for sure. That's exactly what happened.
I mean,
It's crazy.
that steel trap memory though. 6 years later,
I mean, there's a buzzard on the back thing and the thing and the.
When you were
remembers
still
it all.
in Truckville,
Remembers it all.
Zach was still in
Years.
You're saying. You said y'all sat down there after.
Let me stop and clarify something. What I told him earlier about hearsay, I thought it was a third party. He said that was what Zach told him. Hearsay doesn't apply to a statement of a defendant. So you can disregard what I earlier said about it wasn't offered for the truth, so you have to.
That's what I said. Like, yeah, this can be
So
the
I'm
truth.
ruling correctly, they may take it for the truth.
They may, because I thought it was a third party at the time. I think he started off saying what the third party
And
said.
then he skipped what
That's
they
when
said.
we had our conference and I decided to instruct
I
him.
was like
but
so
when he started
confused.
back,
I'm like, the
he said
judge
that
really
Zach
doesn't know
told him.
shit.
So hearsay ruling would not apply to the statement of a defendant. They can consider that and give it any weight that they feel it deserves.
Then we go back to that day, okay? The trail cam day. You, before our bench conference, you started to tell the jury what you said to Zach. You started the sentence, Dylan said, but then you didn't finish it. We came back.
That's correct.
So, and I don't know if you misunderstood the judge's ruling, but I want to go back to that. Tell the jury exactly what you told Zach.
I asked him,
You started it with Dylan said.
that's correct.
Okay. That's the part that I'm asking about.
Dylan said,
Now, I don't want what Dylan said though.
So this is what he said to Zach. This is what the conference.
Oh,
yeah,
you said
I'm telling him,
Dylan said so and so.
Yes.
that's correct.
And so we don't need to go into what Dylan said, but then you said Zach had said so and so.
It's two different things, Judge. And we haven't gone over the part that we had a conference about. It does need to be pure
All
construction.
right. If it's something that someone other than the defendant said, it's not offered for the truth of that statement. And you cannot consider it for the truth of that statement. It's to simply show what transpired thereafter.
We don't need to hear what Dylan said because Zach, he says what Zach said and he explained the statement. What Dylan said is irrelevant unless we're offering it for the truth.
I think they're offering it for what Zach said.
But we know what
thereafter.
Zach said. We know what Zach said. Zach says that
I might not
Is she
really-
doing all this right in front of the jury?
I want you to go back to that conversation that you had with Zach, okay?
Yep.
You started to tell the jury that, but you haven't finished.
That's correct.
You said, I looked at Zach and I said, Zach?
Yeah.
Dylan said, and then we had an objection.
That's
So I
right.
want you to finish that statement.
we also have Crawford issues, Your Honor. Confrontation. We cannot confront Dylan. He's not here today. I
Right.
can't confront Dylan.
Hey, he
about what
can.
he
This
said.
is not admissible.
Let's just go ahead and move on.
I mean, you don't want me to go back over that part?
I'd rather you didn't. We're more interested in Zach's statements.
There, finally.
During the course of
Finally.
that conversation, something that you said to Zach, something Zach said back to you, was Holly Bobo's rape discussed?
Yes,
Did Zach admit that he raped Holly Bobo?
yes.
What did he say? And again, you can't talk about what Shane said. You can't talk about what Dylan said. What did Zach tell you about raping Holly?
He said that it was a brief encounter and that Brian Vitt was out mowing the yard. And I asked him at that time, I said, how does a man prepare himself to rape someone with two other men? And he said, Dylan sucked him off, got him hard.
Well,
And
how
I told
do
him,
you
I said,
rape
"Shit,
nasty
nasty, man.
Because there was 3 other men. That's why.
Now,
That's
he's
why I was
saying what
thinking
Zach said. Zach is saying that Dylan took certain actions,
That's
not
correct.
that he said something.
Did Zach say that all 3 of them raped her?
Yes,
Did he tell you how they raped her?
not really. They didn't no fine details. I'll let it be known that I don't stand for that shit.
When there's 3 other men
Did he
around.
tell you anything else they did to maintain control over Holly? Besides, or in order to allow them to rape her? Or,
Dylan was the one that provided that.
and you can't talk about what Dylan said.
Yeah, he was the one that provided the information on how the situation unfolded. Zach understood that I really wasn't down with it in the conversation. But Zach,
And you can't talk about what Dylan or her
Pause it a sec.
over Holly. Besides, or,
I mean, it begs the question, why doesn't he just say everything was said by Zach? Unless they also need him at the trial for Dylan, but Dylan wasn't having a trial, right?
Right.
So if you're lying, why not just make Zach say all the stuff?
Right.
Unless when you first tell the story, your plan is like, I don't know the timing of when people got deals, when people talked. I think Dylan talked after Autry. So he had to be saving certain things for, like, Dylan said, this one said, I mean, I don't know. This whole thing is fucking crazy. I just, this guy's like something.
Here, I'm going. How far back was that, K. Riggs?
What?
in order to allow them to rape her.
She said
Did he
that
tell,
I'll let it be known that I don't stand for that shit.
did he tell you anything else they did to
Wait,
maintain
pause it.
control
What part are you
over
looking
Holly?
for?
Besides,
she said that there was something that Jason said Dylan did to Zach.
or in order to allow them to rape her. Did Zach say,
That's
Not
correct.
that even what Zach,
Here, yeah, I think this
I
is
don't know
it.
the hearsay, what Dylan said.
there was
he's
no,
saying what Zach said. Zach is saying that Dylan took certain actions,
That's
not
correct.
that he said something.
did Zach say that all 3 of them raped her?
Yes,
She says back
Did
a
he
little
tell you
more.
how they raped her?
Oh wait,
No,
she
no.
says good.
not really. They didn't no fine details. I'll let it be known that I don't stand for that shit.
Did he tell you anything else they did to maintain
Wait.
control over Holly? Besides, or in
Pause
order
it
to
a
allow
sec.
them to rape her? Or,
All right. So do we need to go back a little bit more?
Well,
Okay,
now
Riggs.
she's saying we do.
Right.
I mean, you could just tell us what he said.
Right. Yeah. Just tell us. what
Just
you
tell
think,
us. Just tell us.
Let's just wait. We'll wait. We'll keep an eye out in chat.
Oh yeah, she's leading massively.
Oh
during this
God,
thing.
it's crazy.
Um,
Actually, it's
yeah.
crazy, and she doesn't even have to that much because it seems just so planned. You know, she just needs to say certain trigger words sometimes, and he just spits it out. But
All right, we'll look for what K. Riggs, because I missed it.
Dylan was the one that provided that.
and you can't talk about what Dylan said.
Yeah, he was the one that provided the information on
I said you need to hear.
I'm saying what
got him hard, right? It was a brief
you
That
about
Brian Fitt was mowing the lawn?
what raped Holly Bobo?
Yes.
What did he say? And again, you can't talk about what Shane said. You can't talk about what Dylan said. What did Zach tell you about raping Holly?
He said that it was a brief encounter and that Brian Fitt was out mowing the yard. And I asked him at that time, I said, how does a man prepare himself to rape someone with two other men? And he said, Dylan sucked him off, got him hard. And I told him, I said, that's sick, nasty, man.
Wait, what is
Dylan shut him up and got him hollered.
No, shut them off and got him hard. I don't
What?
know I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does that mean?
I thought he meant like shut him down.
No. Billy, what does that mean?
Go back. Let's slow it down. Go to 1 point.
Well, I looked at captions. I
Well,
mean,
Brian Fitt was out mowing the lawn and he told me he shut him down and
no, what Dylan did, because he said he asked the question, you know, how do you go about like 3 men rape one girl? You know, how do you even get anybody being lawnmower? And then he said sucked. Okay. Wow.
ew. All right, play it at 1.25.
I'm just
Disgusting.
playing.
And I asked him at that time, I said, how does a man prepare himself to rape someone with two other men? And he said, Dylan sucked him off.
Suck
him
him
hard.
off. All right.
And I told him, I said, that's sick, nasty, man.
Wow.
I objected to hearsay, but what Dylan said.
There was no
He's
hearsay.
saying what Zach
he-
said.
He fucking said it, dude.
Zach is saying that
Dylan,
Dylan
ring
took
that
certain
bell.
action.
If they heard it,
Not that he
they
said
can't
something.
unring it. I'm not sure everybody heard it.
That's just been wrong.
Did Zach say that all 3 of them raped her?
Yes,
Did he tell you how they raped her?
not really. They didn't no fine details. That's,
No finer than
Me,
those.
I let it be
That's
known.
pretty
That's
fine.
shit.
Well,
That's pretty fine and
Did he tell you
unnecessary.
anything else they did
hard. Man, nasty, boy.
maintain
I ain't
control
going with that.
over Holly
Y'all need to drop me over the grill.
in order to allow them to rape her? Or
Dylan was the one
Pause it a
that
second.
provided that.
and you can't talk about what Dylan said.
Yeah, he was the one that provided.
So that's even worse. So now what was sick and nasty wasn't the rape, it was the sucking off by the brother.
I mean, there's some
It
nasty
was the
shit.
man sucking them off.
Look,
Now
some
that's sick and
shit.
nasty. They know I'm
That's
not
nasty.
down with that. They
That's
know I'm
nasty.
not down with that.
I ain't
A
fucking
little,
with
a little R-ing, a little
you
hemming.
no,
little
nobody.
unaliving.
Brother sucking them off to get them hard. Come on, get the fuck
No,
out.
nah,
Here.
that's
Y'all
gone
gonna
too
drop me
far.
off back over there.
No,
Yeah,
no,
man.
no. I got
Hey,
no
man,
parts of that.
Pass me that meth pipe, motherfucker. Let's go. Y'all some sick motherfuckers. That's all.
the
I know.
information on how the situation unfolded. Zach understood that I really wasn't down with it. And the conversation was very rough.
Sucking off my boys. Mm.
You talked about today on the 13th seeing a gun holstered on your cousin Shane's hip.
First, when I pulled in 30 Yellow Springs Drive.
Had you ever seen that particular gun before that day?
Oh,
Yes,
Were you present when that gun was first bought, traded, obtained?
yes.
And whose gun was it?
Before it was bought or after it was bought?
Both.
Before it was bought, it was,
You can do it, buddy.
right.
Think back to the
We went
discovery.
over this. Come on.
I don't remember his name.
You can
Were you
remember it.
present when it was
I
purchased?
was,
And who purchased it?
Shane.
And between the time he purchased it and the next time you saw it, or excuse me, between the time he purchased it and the 13th, had you seen it any other times?
I had not. I only seen it the day it was purchased. I had no actions of the gun other than just watching the transaction, just a brief transaction.
Shane had a lot of guns, didn't he?
That's correct.
I want to show you a gun. Put on your glasses.
That's the
I
gun.
love how she knows he needs glasses.
Yeah, minus the The aging.
Minus the what?
The
The
agent?
aging.
Okay.
So what do you mean by that? Minus the agent?
Meaning, when I seen the gun, it was in good working order. Shiny.
What
Black.
Black. Was the whole gun black?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that appear to be the gun that
It does.
you saw holstered on Shane?
That's correct.
Now, you indicated that when you left Shane's trailer, when you left, you pulled out,
Yes,
Shane had the
Akasha.
gun on his
The
hip.
whole
That's
fucking
When's the next time that you
testimony's
saw this
leading.
gun?
When I got in the Nissan Frontier 4x4, laying in the driver's side floorboard,
Take a nap. right
Car
here.
driven by whom?
Mr. Adams,
And after seeing it at the floorboard, when's the next time that you saw that gun?
in his hand right before he shot her.
And after the 13th, did you ever see this gun again?
I did.
When's the next time that you saw that gun?
When me and Austin sold it to Dinsmore.
And when you say me and Austin, you mean Shane Austin.
I was with Shane when he traded Dinsmore the gun for morphine.
And that was later on that same summer.
Pause it a
It was
sec.
approximately 45 months after.
We don't have Dana here, so I'm going to have to ask Kay Riggs. Maybe she knows. And I'm going to apologize because I'll probably keep saying he occasionally. I think like Riggs, it's very like a strong like last name. And so together it just made me think kind of manly. So I apologize if I say he again, even though it's been verified that you're a she. But in any event,
Maybe
how
it's
does this
from Friday Night Lights?
Dashmore, what the hell is his name? How does this guy's got a gun even start to get introduced here? Like in order for this specific lie to come to be, like this guy came forward and was like, I bought this gun from Shane. They found a gun. Dinsmore. Yeah. Okay. So how did this come about? Who knows? Who's got some deets for me?
Give her the deets.
Dancing.
Your Honor, this time I'm going to ask that the gun be marked as the next numbered exhibit. And
Please, 180, where we are.
and there are some live rounds that are separate in a baggie. I'd like those to be marked for ID only.
I said it'd be 181.
In the weeks and months that followed.
And I gotta go.
Holly's
I'll be
disappearance.
listening, babe.
Wait, where are you
Nobody
going?
knew where she was.
Pick up Scout.
What?
Were you questioned by law enforcement? Actually,
No,
we
you're on
interviewed you
tax
at the
cab
same year.
service.
I was.
And were you questioned on more than one occasion?
I was.
2 times,
Yes, ma'am.
at least?
At least.
In addition to being questioned by law enforcement, were you questioned by Karen Bobo? Any of those interviews, either one by the Bobos or 2 by the Bobos or law enforcement, did you ever tell the truth about what you knew?
I did not.
Why? That's probably pretty obvious, but why?
One was self-preservation. Once. 2, I had family in it. 3, I had a relationship I was trying to save that I didn't want to get destroyed.
You lied.
Plain and simple.
And after you were actually arrested for this crime, did you continue to lie?
I did.
You grant interviews? Did you grant interviews to the media? And let me say, before you were represented by Mike Scholl and Robert Harris.
That's
Did you?
correct. Miss,
Who were your
Oh, we're watching the whole trial. The whole trial. Beginning to end.
lawyers then?
Mr. Fletcher Long and John Herberson.
Were they aware that you were going to grant interviews to the media?
They set it up, yeah,
And you did that from the jail?
from state prison through Channel 5.
State prison, that's just where you're being held on this case, correct?
That's correct.
And you're actually doing some time right now, aren't you, on something else?
That's correct. I believe it's 922G.
Did you, in addition to granting interviews, and let me just ask you, did you proclaim your innocence of all knowledge that whoever happened to watch Channel 5?
I did. I was told by Fletcher Long sent word.
Objection, Your Honor.
You can't say what Fletcher said.
Let me ask you this. Was it your goal to proclaim your innocence?
That's correct.
And did you do that constantly?
I did.
Did you write letters to various people?
I did.
What did you say in your letters?
That I did not kidnap, I did not rape, and I did not kill Miss Bobo. And I did not, but I lied and said that I didn't have no details to it.
That was my next question. Did you kidnap her?
I did not.
Did you rape her?
I did not.
Did you kill her?
I did not.
You were involved in it though, weren't you?
I was.
And that's the part you lied about.
That's correct.
Did you write letters to all sorts of people with the knowledge or not that somebody was reading your mail?
In the beginning, no, but it was determined shortly after. Meaning, after being there a month or so with correspondence with other people saying the letters had been opened, I figured it out.
And that law enforcement or jail personnel
We're standing.
had a mail cover. They were reading everything you wrote, right?
I just cleaned on the mail standing.
And so did you, with that knowledge, continue to proclaim your absolute lack of knowledge about anything?
I absolutely did.
When you got, let me just ask, you have given this jury a lot of information today. What made you go from telling the world, I didn't have anything to do with it, don't know anything about it, to the things that you have admitted today?
I told the previous attorneys the very first court date when I asked the judge for a session after court, and he allowed us to go back there. I told him that I had information on the case.
You can't say
Did you
what
what?
That I had information.
Okay.
you
on the
can't
case.
say, you can't say what your lawyer said, but you told them then.
That's correct.
And I don't want to go too deep into what they said, but after giving those first lawyers the information, was anything set up between yourself or any request made between yourself and the DAs that were assigned to the case at that time?
There was not.
When you got new lawyers, again, did the situation change?
It did.
Approximately sometime last fall, did the situation change for you?
There did. There was.
And since that time, were you driven from state prison in Nashville to a location under the bridge with your lawyers, both present,
Yes, ma'am.
with Mr. Hagerman,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ragland, Mr. Christensen, me?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you show all of us in the presence of law enforcement and TBI agents exactly what happened to Holly under the bridge on the 13th?
I did.
Now I'm gonna put something up. First of all, did I show you this map and this poster this morning?
You did.
Did you recognize the areas depicted on it?
I do.
What areas depicted on it?
Interstate 40, Tennessee River Bridge, the crime scene, the route there, the route out, the road in.
You're gonna ask Steve Martin as the next numbered exhibit?
The 182.
And with the court's permission,
And I also told the parties that post-trial, I want your big sketches, I want to substitute maybe an 8 by 10 of them. In other words, I don't want the part after the,
oh, after deliberation.
yes, yes. After the case is finally completed, okay?
May Mr. Autry step down
You
again?
may-
Sort of a tight squeeze, but we'll. Oh, I'm gonna get that. Mr. Autry, do you see this map with the blue roof sort of mapped out here?
I do.
Sorry.
You might need to come up there.
That's the route we took.
When you say this is a route we took, this is a route you took,
Me and Jack,
on what day?
the 13th of April,
Where did you start?
30 Yellow Springs Road.
Okay, and this doesn't appear to be exactly 30 Yellow Springs, but it's in this area, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and show them the route that you all took. Use that so you're not blocking it.
We traveled Hugh Road, Duck Farm Road.
Can you step back a little further and still show it?
I can, sir.
Thank you.
We traveled Hugh Road, Duck Farm Road, Dry Branch Road, Morgan Creek Road, Warren Hill Road, to the location. Right here.
All right, when you are using keep your pointer there. You're using your pointer from where these red lines meet to the furthest right. Keep it on the right
This right
side.
here is this location right here.
And the line goes to what?
Holly Route.
Show them where you backed the truck in, or where Zach Adams backed the truck in.
Right,
Where's that judge?
All right, lean back.
Pause it a sec.
All right, show me it again.
right here.
Where the hell is this judge?
What are you talking about?
The judge that he claims he told he had information in chambers in a private meeting with him and his lawyers and the like. Where the fuck is that judge?
What do you want to know?
And I'm trying to think.
Is
Wait,
that where you-
I was trying to think. Is that attorney-client privilege? If he has divulged this either truth or false, thing that he told his old lawyers.
DB's saying it was McGinley, our very own Creed McGinley.
I thought, wait, that's who's sitting on this judge.
Yeah,
this,
fucking job of the Hup.
no. This judge was like, what? Who? I thought he said.
I didn't know that some no both here. We don't know what you know.
No, I thought he said the first judge. I don't think so, DB. Wait.
You guys will have to have a wager.
Just hold it here. I'm just gonna hear that. Hold on, I'm playing it over here on my end just to see.
Oh my lord!
I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, DB's talking about one of those attorneys in that meeting was disbarred and one was suspended. Like, I mean, DB, are you pretty confident that it was in front of McGinley here? I mean,
wait.
DB doesn't usually make shit up, babe. I'm going to go with DB's right. You figure it out.
Shot her?
That's correct. On that pile of it right there.
And these other pictures
This is
All right.
about him.
Well,
We
all he
taped it. I
said
showed you already.
was,
on the little one?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's the bridge.
I told
This is where we
previous
look down at the
attorney
Sandy Bar,
the very first
in
court
Tennessee
date.
River. In fact, let's see. Right here is the actual.
All right.
Right here is the actual river. Right here. Right there is the location.
Wait, are you still
where she's
playing it?
killed. Right there is the actual.
Yeah.
I was
Tennessee River.
talking.
This looks like the river right here,
What?
but that's not. That's a slough. It's on both sides. That's backwater.
Wait, you
I
were
was-
talking?
Well, I don't know if everyone else could hear me. I was literally repeating what he actually said, which was, I told the judge it wasn't. It was the previous attorneys. He didn't say anything about the first judge or an old judge.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, this judge is gonna know whether or not DB's like, let's talk. I'll let Allie talk. I don't. Apparently, when it's playing, Bob can't like hear that I'm talking, so he just had no clue. But yeah, he didn't say like a different judge. He just said like on our first court date. I mean, but the judge's response did seem like, wait, what? You know?
well, I mean, we know from Dana that as he told us that they waited until after this shit. So there would have been a conversation, like whatever deal they were working out with him when he gets, it sounds like it was arraignment. I mean, it would have been in front of the same fucking guy.
Yeah, but he was at that point, he wasn't admitting anything. He was still
I know.
denying.
I understand. All right. Can I, I'm about to be in the dark because I didn't put my light up.
The actual river is right here.
You could run down and
Is
grab
there-
it.
A place or a picture on here that you can show the jury
Or you could turn on that light.
where the intention was to gut her?
Just
Yeah.
turn the light on.
This location right here is the channel in this slough. The channel meaning the deepest point.
And that's where you're gonna put her.
That's what he was over there. Or we, however you want to say it now.
Right.
That determining who was going to do what.
Not set up.
It was never made. at that
No,
point.
just turn the light on.
But that's
over
where you
here.
guys were headed.
Turn that
That's
down.
correct.
Let me come put your overheads on down there, buddy.
Oh, no,
Huh?
I need
Huh?
my
Your Honor,
Huh?
I need my face.
Pass or false?
You look the same in any lighting.
I'm assuming that you'll require some time for
Right.
cross-examination.
This is it.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. Take
Great.
15, follow the rules, I guess.
Ask the witness, so we're going to do that tomorrow anyway.
All right.
That was
And
it.
then we're going to wait till we get through all of his testimony to hear his recantation. Maybe they can give us that raw maybe we can get that between now and then. I mean, I don't know. I was trying to think, like, is that attorney-client privilege? Whether or not he told those previous lawyers this story before. You're not supposed to say anything that is detrimental to your client. But I wonder if you'd be allowed to claim attorney-client privilege, or, like, that you can't, under the rules, that you can't be compelled to say anything that could hurt your client. If your client lies and says, I told my lawyers this before, I feel like that he put it at issue, and maybe the lawyers have to respond. But I don't know. I'd have to look at the rules, and that's kind of confusing. So maybe it's something we can ask Dana if he knows about. But
Yeah, I mean, technically, it would still be privileged, even if they're not lawyers anymore.
right, no, that's not the part that would make it right. Not
It was
privilege.
just funny to
Like,
be-
you're letting them know. I know. You know. Yes, you have a right. You have a duty forever and eternity to A, keep your client's confidences, and B, not say anything that is detrimental to your client.
And it survives death. If your client dies, the privilege still exists.
So that's why, but I'm wondering if your client puts it at issue, whether that might kill any confidence, about whether or not he said it.
Yeah, whether it's still
Privileged.
privileged. Yeah, I mean, I think
But-
that there's an argument there.
But whether it's
I mean, if you're putting it out there and subjecting it to cross-examination, I think that, I mean, she has to be able to inquire into it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
mean,
trying to
well-
think if admitting that your client lied about a conversation with you. But again, I just don't know if it would be protected under those circumstances, if he could be compelled to answer the question or not. But it's an interesting, thought-provoking question. All right, so I think like we actually did everybody's supers and questions. We got
We got 2 Venmos. Kim with her daily bread, $25 solid every day.
thank you, Kim.
So, Guardian Angel, and then Danielle sent us 5. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
that.
generosity.
We appreciate that.
Autry's fake account said popped in at the right time.
That's Autry's fake
Autry's
accent.
fake accent. If I could read, that'd be, And Crazy Cat Lady, member for 4 months. Thanks for your continued support. How could anybody think this guy is credible? I've got moments where I feel like he's credible. I mean, it took a lot of work to get this guy to be this way. Either him, like he's just like a master storyteller.
It's
Like
18
that whole,
months.
I said, that fucking bitch is alive. I mean, that's like a whole thing to be
She
saying
damn
in front of
lie.
a
What
jury
the
like
fuck is
that.
she a damn lie? I don't know what the fuck it is. I just saw Dylan sucking his brother off when I about my fucking head exploded. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Get me the fuck out of here. I gotta get the fuck away from these two. These Adam boys fucked up in the head. I gotta go. That's all I know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe
nothing else. That ain't my shit.
Dr. Katie will get her power on come tomorrow. Maybe
Hopefully.
Dana will be available.
shit.
But I have questions.
So many questions.
And I see your point, Crazy Cat Lady, like on some of it, but on other parts of it, I'm just like, this story sounds so fucking real.
No, like, so Patty, you have to, what she's saying is when you're looking at it in 2017, if you're sitting on the jury, it's easy now, knowing what we
Right.
know, to sit back and say, oh, well,
You know all of
we
this.
know all this stuff. This guy's a fucking lying piece of shit. You have to think back to when, like, that's the purpose of this exercise, is to go back and try to put yourself in the mind of the jurors as to what they're hearing. I mean, they bought it. Zach Adams is a convicted man. So
There's just parts of it, Patty, that I honestly did think was I would have.
he's coming off as very authentic. Just the
For-
way that he's saying things, it doesn't seem necessary. It's certainly not coached, but
You
it's
mean-
like it is a
you mean
difference
is
between
coached.
him and
Right.
it's not coached. Like he has committed this story to memory. He
All
had
right.
he had the discovery for. And
Oh yeah,
like
he
Dana
worked
was
this.
saying,
He worked this story
well,
around.
it's his actual life on a daily basis, and he's just plugging in the Holly Bobo facts.
Well, there's
as
a
he
lot of
knows
Holly Bobo facts he's plugging in that
that
he
there
is.
are.
He is like,
I mean, dude, you can put me on the fucking stand. I'll tell the same goddamn story without practicing a goddamn thing. All I need to do are the times.
right.
Like, I mean, he comes off is authentic.
But I have
When
to
he
say,
when he says the shit, because they're allowing him to use his normal lexicon in terms of like his swearing and shit. So which lends to the authenticity
credibility,
of
right.
it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's like, oh, it's verboten to swear in court. So that allowing him to say what he said or what he heard somebody say, especially, obviously Zach, like allowing it makes it seem like it happened because they're allowing him to say it the way that he's claiming that he heard it or said it back when it happened. It's just, it's the whole thing's fucked up.
right. And now, and Bob, I know you mentioned this earlier, but any time that you have a witness who literally pulls all the loose ends together, like connects the dots so perfectly, at least based on the facts that were presented to this jury and the facts we know, we know now his story does not hold up under scrutiny of like real locations, real times, but this jury didn't get all of that. But also, and you pointed this out, Bob, like your memories are going to be different even when it's the truth.
Years, dude. Like if
Even
we were
when it's
watching
the
this in
truth.
2017, I'd be like, girl, are you fucking serious? You
Right.
think this fucking guy remembers all that? I'm like, he's full
Right.
of shit.
I would definitely have a lot of those issues. I would
Too many details, too
Right,
many tiny, minute details that he just remembers everything. It's too perfect.
It's right. So for those reasons, I would have been there. Some red flags go up, but there's just also parts of it that, like you said, Bob, sound really authentic and just sound true. And like, but this is a guy who this jury doesn't know is motivated because he ends up not doing 1 extra minute in jail for this.
We'll see what comes out in terms of what deal he got on cross.
Well, they don't know it yet. They don't know it yet.
Well, I know that. I'm saying tomorrow.
Oh,
when
you
we
mean
watch
what the jurors
Cross.
hear? Because
Yes.
as of this point in time,
They don't
the
know
deal
shit.
hasn't transpired, right?
Right. And the deal's like, the damage is done at this point in terms of what he said.
Right.
Trying to walk that back out of the
But
jurors' minds if they find him to be credible at that point. Like,
But again, babe, there is no deal yet. Even when she cross-examines him, the deal's not in place. So he would say, I have no deal.
yeah. I mean, that's
that was what we were calling the prosecutors, like, hide the ball, dirty bag of tricks.
Yep. It's the fucking worst. All right. I gotta go.
All right, people.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep your eyes on your
help Bob pay for
notifications.
the electricity.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll put my light up tonight. I mean, maybe I will. All right, you guys are the best. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're in replay, leave a comment. We love it so much. Helps get the algo churning. We will see you tomorrow, and we hope that you're there, because if you're not, I will literally just be an old man
sitting around talking to his wife.
Wow. Bye.